Part 11. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 101. Everyone fell into silence listening to Xiao Xian's words. Great opportunities will appear in every era. But only those who are destined to get great opportunities can get great opportunities. They are those who have experienced great tribulations, life, and death. Although the ancient emperor and his son could predict when the great opportunity would appear, but they were not detached at that time. When they come to an era that does not belong to them, it is even more impossible to transcend. Xiao Qingyun and Xiao Junlin also looked at their own life experiences after hearing these words. Although they are reincarnations, Xiao Qingyun only awakened his memory in this life after going through several reincarnations. Although Xiao Junlin was reincarnated with memories, but in this life, he experienced life and death several times. The law of reincarnation did not bring him into reincarnation time and space again. On the contrary, it seems that this era has chosen them. Nowadays, the competition in the vast continent has changed due to the return of the ancient emperor and his son. The head of this family will also start practicing in seclusion. When the list of kings is released, we will gather here again. As Xiao Xian practiced in seclusion, everyone in the Xiao family also entered into their own cultivation. This time, the Xiao family had made sufficient preparations for this spiritual energy tide. Therefore, the spiritual energy of the entire Xiao family is very strong. They also happened to take advantage of the time when the king list was released. Once again, he broke through his own realm of cultivation. The news that Xiao Tianyun defeated Luo Fanchen also spread quickly throughout the vast continent. Many people call him the first genius of the country. As time goes by, other geniuses who defeated the reincarnation of the ancient emperor have also emerged in the vast continent. In the North Sea, everyone is talking a lot about the ranking of the Tianjiao on the Tiandao ranking this time. Jun Gihai from the Tianlong domain stole the show this time. Even the reincarnated Emperor Lu Wuhan was defeated by him. His sword was absolutely stunning. Even Lu Wuhan was severely injured by it. Lu Wuhan is a famous ancient emperor in the world of heavens, but he can't even take 40% of Jun Gihai's sword moves. Compared with Xiao Tianyun of the Xiao family, this Jun Gihai can kill each other instantly. The reason why Xiao Tianyun was able to win over Luo Fanchen was because Luo Fanchen didn't adapt to his reincarnated body. If the two of them were to fight once, Xiao Tianyun would have no chance of defeating him. As time went by, Xiao Tianyun's victory over Luo Fanchen was gradually forgotten. In addition, he also entered seclusion for training, so everyone underestimated his strength again. In their eyes, he is a truly powerful person. I will not choose to do other things when I can prove myself. The battle between Lin Xianer and the reincarnated Emperor Lu Xiao also amazed everyone. That's right, especially her charming tricks, which are amazingly talented. And the Chu Zonghuang's spear skills can't even be matched by the reincarnated Emperor Donglei Emperor Lin Wenwen. The great Emperor Lin Wenwen from the east was even chased by Emperor Chu Zhong across 3 domains. If he hadn't run so fast, he would have been the first reincarnated emperor to be killed by a local genius. Speaking of which, everyone couldn't help but sigh with emotion. Although the vast continent also has local geniuses who can defeat the reincarnated emperor, but there are still very few peerless geniuses like this. Most of the top spots on the heavenly Dao ranking are still occupied by the reincarnated emperor and his son. In 2 months, each of the peerless talents in the vast continent became more powerful than the other. Xiao Tianyun, who was the first to defeat the reincarnated emperor, was forgotten as time went by. Also at this time, the list of kings that everyone in the vast continent and the ancient emperors are eagerly awaiting. The list release was also started at this time. Everyone looked at the list of names above the sky with great attention. Xiao Xian's realm also broke through to the 9th level of Dao Slayer King at this time. I saw him slowly opening his eyes, and there was an aura belonging to the king. It exploded all over him in an instant. The peak state of the Tau-killing king may be nothing in the vast continent. But it only took him half a year to break through from the 8th level of Dao Slayer king to the peak level. Some veteran cultivators may spend thousands of years or even a lifetime on this, just to break through this level. Xiao Xian looked towards the sky. Now he has reached the peak of the Dao Slaying King. With the blessing of the Master's Jade Pendant, even the Supreme Master is no match for him. Then he checked his current situation. Name, Xiao Xian. Identity, head of Xiao family in Tianluo domain. Cultivation realm, 9th level of Dao Killing King. Magic weapon, top grade Imperial magic weapon Waning Moon Sword. Martial skills, Tianyu Xianfeng Sword Technique. After completing the practice, you can reach the top of the Immortal Way, Powerful Wolong. After completing the practice, you can cut the void with the sword, 8-stage slash, the 4th level, upgraded to the 9-turn golden body. Exotic treasures, Jade Pendant and Ring of the Head of the Family. Family buildings, Sutra Pavilion, Enlightenment Room, Jingxi Hall, Family Residence, 10,000 Swords Grotto, 1000 Buddha Hall, Enlightenment Heavenly Monument, Wanzhang Medicine Peak, and Family Ancestral Tombs. Supernatural powers, Bei's Hang, Sword Domain, Poji, Power Breaking 10,000s, Aurora, Invincibility, Extreme Speed, Critical Hit. Now, not only has his cultivation level reached a breakthrough, but his physique has also been greatly tempered. After merging the blood of Erlang Shen and Sun Wukong, his body contains infinite terrifying energy. The sword power has also broken through to the realm of Dachan Kendo, and the 8-stage slash has been upgraded to the 9-turn golden body. And after breaking through to the 4th turn, with the help of magical powers, Xiao Xian can even be said to be invincible in the vast world. Later, Xiao Xian came out of the system. Slowly walked towards the door. Today is the time for the Tiandao ranking king list to be released. At this time, all the geniuses of the Xiao family have gathered at Xiao Xian's door, waiting for the release of the Tiandao ranking king list. At this moment, everyone was excited. The moment I saw Xiao Xian coming out, everyone was excited. The head of the family has made another breakthrough. I don't know where the master's cultivation level is now. This aura is too terrifying. This time the top of the king list must be the head of the family. Yes, if the head of the family cannot be on the list, then this Heaven's Dao list will be too useless. In terms of strength alone, they are incomparable. If the head of the family uses secret realm magic weapons or something else, he will be invincible. Having said that, don't forget that there are still many old sects and families. As well as the heavens and the world, these things are what they lack most. That's right. If this is included, the heavenly Dao ranking will be dominated by all the heavens and worlds at the beginning. All the geniuses of the Xiao family unanimously believe that Xiao Xian has the absolute strength to enter the king's list. Because their 2 experiences in the secret realm were enough to shock the world. The most important thing is that they clearly remember experiencing it themselves. But when others asked, they couldn't tell anything about the secret realm. This is something that no one else can do. At this time, Xiao Jiangxin, Xiao Yan, and others were also waiting for Xiao Xian in the meeting hall. This time on the list of kings, everyone thinks Xiao Xian should take the top spot. Because his strength is worth it. When he saw Xiao Xian coming, he saluted him. Xiao Xian came directly to the main seat and sat down. Looking at the dragon and tiger list below, all the geniuses have arrived. Then he opened the eye of the meeting hall. Start paying attention to today's king list. A rumbling sound began to be heard from the sky. Immediately afterwards, a golden light shone down. It's almost the same as when the Tiandao ranking was released. Soon the 10th place on the king list was announced. 10th place on the king list, the demon clan Xiantian turtle lives in the North Sea. Its image is a combination of turtle and snake. Lethargy, with the blood of Suanwu and dragon snake, huge body, sleeping for many years. He is half-stepped to the realm of supreme dominion, he practices by sleeping, and his defense is extremely strong, even the god of war cannot break through it. Due to the Suanwu and dragon snake bloodlines contained in the body, it is possible for him to awaken his bloodline. Maybe he can become a black turtle, and then his defense power can be called invincible. Tiandao ranking king ranking rewards, 1 drop of Suanwu essence and blood, 1 drop of dragon and snake essence and blood, Zun level kung fu, god level shield. Afterwards, Xiantian turtle's name fell to the bottom of the heavenly Dao ranking. Then a picture appeared. The water in the North Sea is gradually boiling. One of the huge islands is slowly rising. Then a glance was poked out. The sleepy look makes people feel ashamed. Then several rays of light sank into his body. The 2 drops of essence and blood rewarded by heaven also merged into his body at this time. A huge defensive shield glowed golden. I saw that Xiantian turtle's figure had undergone tremendous changes. It even smells faintly of Suanwu. After the refining of these 2 drops of essence and blood, it is more likely that the Xiantian turtle will return to its ancestors and become Suanwu. Just when everyone thought Xiantian turtle would do something, he buried his body in the sea again. Immediately afterwards, a snoring sound came from the screen. Everyone almost fell to the ground. This guy's narcolepsy is so bad. Looking at the huge creature who was sleeping soundly, everyone had the urge to beat him. Especially looking at the spiritual energy circulating around him, he was even more jealous. However, his defense was too strong, and in the end they could only think about it. Who let this be someone else's skill? I thought it was an island, but I didn't expect it to be Xiantian turtle. This can also explain why those powerful people in the tribulation realm who came to hunt for treasure failed. I dare you to disturb someone's head. If you don't deal with it, who will deal with it? The power of Xiantian turtle is already recognized by everyone. Ranking 10th on the Tiandao King list is well deserved. Then, everyone focused on the 9th one. 9th place on the list of kings of heaven, Ximan Zhangsheng, a half-step supreme master. His sword moves can kill powerful men at the level of the Supreme Lord, and his attainments are unparalleled in the world. Tiandao rewards for ranking 9th on the heavenly Dao ranking, a supreme level divine weapon sword, a supreme level swordsmanship technique. A copy of the supreme sword technique, the heart of the supreme sword Dao, a drop of the sword master's essence and blood, and 1 enlightenment of the sword master. Everyone saw this time's reward from heaven. He couldn't help but gasp. Magical weapon, sword master's insights. This is a treasure that is enough to make the vast world go crazy. Unless these things are specific to the way of heaven. Even if this person dies, he will be taken back by heaven. I'm afraid that at this time, many strong men and powerful people have gone to snatch it. Especially the sword master realized that this is something that many powerful men dream of. Ximan Zhangsheng has the ability to kill the supreme master. Legend has it that when he was in the middle stage of the Dao slaying king, he fought against the Supreme Lord and successfully killed him. But he was also seriously injured. This time, God's reward helped him heal. It's just around the corner for Ximan Zhangsheng to break through to the Supreme Lord. By then, there will be another great power in the vast world. Everyone kept talking. As the protagonist, Ximan Zhangsheng is constantly absorbing rewards from heaven. When the injuries in his body completely recovered, Ximan Kangsheng couldn't help but shed tears of excitement. Next, he will work hard to break through the Supreme Lord. 8th on the heavenly Dao list, the sky-swallowing demon king, who practices the devouring technique, can devour all things, including humans, and demons, as well as the powerful and powerful who have swallowed the realm of supreme dominion. Known as the #1 devouring demon king of 10,000 demon mountains. Tiandeo reward for 8th place on the Heavenly Deo ranking, Heaven Swallowing Demon Art, Heaven Swallowing. 7th on the Heavenly Way list, Zuchchawixu, half step to the realm of supreme domination. He loves cooking and delicacies, and anything in the world can be cooked in his eyes. Anyone who cooks unparalleled delicacies can advance to the next level. Even the powerful and powerful at the level of the Supreme Lord can advance to the next level. They are all one of the ingredients in his cooking, and he can be called a freak in the cultivation world. Tiandeo reward for 7th place on the Heavenly Deo ranking. When everyone saw this, they suddenly felt a little creepy. Even the power of the Supreme Lord can cook for the sake of delicious food. This shows how terrifying its strength is. The rankings on the king list are constantly updated. Everyone in the Xiao family also began to become unable to sit still. Xiao Xian's strength is so strong, why is there no such thing as his name on the list of kings of the Heavenly Deo ranking? Although the people on the list are all old monsters who are halfway to becoming a supreme master. But their master is not bad either. He has just entered the Zhan Dao King, and there are things that can bring countless galactic years ago. Move to the current world and let them gain insights and opportunities from it. Even the great powers of that era couldn't feel Xiao Xian's existence. This shows how powerful he is. Just when they were all fighting for Xiao Xian, a name that appeared on the list of kings of heaven made all of them excited. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 102. 4th place on the Heavenly Deo ranking, Roaring Heavenly Dog, the sacred dog of the Xiao family's protector in Tianluo domain, Tianzhou. He has the blood of a Tengu, and was born with the magical power to devour the sun and moon. His combat power is unknown. Currently, it is the Xiao family's ancestral guardian dog. Its body is 3 meters tall and its body is dark. Without the approval of the Xiao family, all outsiders will become enemies. Roaring Dog, also known as Sirius. Tiandeo rewards for 4th place on the Heavenly Deo ranking, the supreme level devouring heaven and moon, and 1 Heavenly Deo initiation. A drop of the essence and blood of the god, the supreme level wind-splitting claw, the supreme level Tengu body burning technique. With the distribution of heavenly rewards. The Roaring Heavenly Dog also appeared in the Tiandeo ranking list. At this time, Zheng Zheng was crawling at the gate of Xiao's house. There is also a huge god-level dog bowl in front of it. The huge bones contained in the dog basin can be seen at a glance as monsters with thousands of years of cultivation. And it was chewing some bones with a look of enjoyment. I saw a golden light shining on it. Then the roaring dog let out an extremely comfortable cry. That appearance makes people feel that it is somewhat human. As the golden glow of the Heavenly Deo initiation dissipated, the roaring sky dog also stretched lazily. Then he continued to chew on the bones in front of him. Obviously, in its cognition. This golden light of heavenly enlightenment is coveted by countless people. It was just a ray of sunshine that made him feel comfortable. At this time, several Xiao family members appeared on the screen. They were holding several monster bones in their hands. After seeing those people, Roaring Sky Dog happily threw them to the ground. Licking their faces is like a pet that pleases its owner. And the Roaring Sky Dog, which has obtained the bones of the monster beast, will also be waving its long tail. He continued to crawl in front of Xiao's house, enjoying the moment with a contented expression. This scene made everyone dumbfounded. Number 4 on the Tiandeo list is actually a dog. If this picture hadn't been played from the Tiandeo ranking list, everyone would think this was a prank played by the Xiao family. But they would rather believe this is a prank. It is also unacceptable that a guard dog can be on the list. And they are many times more powerful than this dog, but they are not on the list. Until the screen on the scoreboard disappeared. No one has reacted yet. What followed was a moment of shock and collapse. Even Xian Tiangui and Ximen Zhangsheng are powerful and powerful people who have already stepped into the semi-step of becoming supreme masters. They can only be ranked at the bottom, and this dog. But he ranks 4th in the list of the top 10 kings in southern Xinjiang. That is a powerful being that can kill the supreme master. The ranking is not as high as that of a dog. Isn't there a mistake in the list of heavenly Dao? A dog can actually be on the list. In addition to being huge and having a god-level dog bowl, he is just a pet dog. Can a pet dog also be on the list of kings? Then how embarrassed are those king-level powers? A dog can be on the list, so why am I not even as good as a dog? I don't know who started it, and sour jealousy spread among the crowd. Yeah, even worse than a dog. Followed by continuous fermentation. Even with a slightly sarcastic tone. The people on the list are all half-step to the Supreme Master level, but the ranking is not as good as a dog. As soon as these words came out, everyone was stunned at first. Then he couldn't help but laugh. Isn't that right? After practicing for a lifetime, the result is not as good as acting like a coquettish person. This makes those powerful kings feel so embarrassed. They can't really admit that they are not as good as a dog. Ha ha ha, no, they all have the ability to kill the Supreme Lord. How can you admit that you are not as good as a dog? It should be said that the ranking is wrong. Those half-step Dao killing kings are probably going to be furious. They have been practicing in seclusion for many years, but they were defeated by a dog. No one can accept this. What shall we call them in the future? Half-step supreme masters who are worse than dogs. Are they too weak, or is the Xiao family's pet dog too powerful? So much so that their ranking is not even as good as a dog, ha ha ha. Everyone originally felt resentful because Roaring Sky Dog was on the list of kings. At this moment, they are all targeting the powerful king on the list. For a while, the cultivators throughout southern Xinjiang became excited. There is a lot of discussion about this time's ranking of the Tiandao ranking. And those powerful people who are on the list of kings. At this moment, he became extremely angry. How dare the Xiao family humiliate me like this? A mere watchdog can actually be on the list. The Xiao family is really good at it? The combat effectiveness is still unknown, isn't it, because the Tiandao list has received the benefits of the Xiao family. Xiao family, our demon clan remembers you. Everyone in the Xiao family looked at the ranking of Roaring Sky Dog on the Heavenly Dao ranking. I also felt a sense of doubt. One of them was stroking the roaring dog's head and feeding it bones. When I saw Roaring Dog ranked 4th, they all doubt their own eyes. They couldn't imagine the big black dog that they played with on a daily basis. Turns out to be the dog king known as Sirius. But apart from being coquettish and cute with them, it also acts like a coquettish person. There is no demon king spirit at all. For a moment, no one knew how to describe the big black dog in front of them. Just keep calling it Roaring Sky Dog. Or call it Sirius. It seems that no matter how it is called, in their eyes it is an extremely obedient pet dog. The Roaring Tengu is the descendant of the Tengu next to Erlang Shen, and is a pure descendant of the Tengu. There is a great possibility that he may return to his ancestors and become a Tengu. Xiao Xian's words completely awakened everyone in the Xiao family. Although they couldn't talk about the things in the secret realm, they remembered them clearly. Especially the scene where the Tengu next to Erlang Shen fights Sun Wukong. It is engraved in their bones. It can be said that there is no Tengu biting Sun Wukong. Erlang Shen has no way to catch Sun Wukong. Thinking of this, everyone's doubts disappeared. Roaring Tengu is the descendant of that Tengu. Naturally, he has such powerful abilities, so it's not surprising that Roaring Dog is on the list. Next, everyone focused on the 3rd place on the king list. Even everyone in southern Xinjiang couldn't help but guess what level of experts the top 3 were. I have been the supreme ruler for half a millennium. Regardless of my fighting power or reputation, I am enough to frighten everyone. I have practiced thunder and fire among hundreds of people, and this third place must belong to me. At this time, in a certain domain of the demon clan, a group of werewolves were staring happily at the list of the top 10 kings of southern Xinjiang. If the guard dogs of the dog clan can be on the list, shouldn't our young master Sirius want to be at the top of the list? Yes, the young master not only has the pure bloodline of Sirius, but now he also shows signs of returning to his ancestors. Even when he was still young, he defeated an emperor-level power. If he is not on the list, it will be unforgivable. As the golden light of the Tiandao Bang falls, everyone's hearts also trembled. Third place on the heavenly Dao ranking, Baifang, the divine beast that protects the Xiao family in the Tianluo domain, the 9th level cultivation of the king of Dao slayers. He feeds on devouring flames and is the incarnation of flames. His combat power is unknown and he has the pure blood of an ancient strongman in his body. Tiandao rewards for third place on the heavenly Dao ranking, supreme fire level skills, supreme flame armor, God level flame gun, a drop of blood essence from a powerful person. Then a flame bird with only one leg appeared on the screen, its whole body burning with flames. At this moment, it is standing on the top of the Xiao family's demon locking tower, cleaning its hair from time to time. Everyone watched this scene. Apart from the fact that its whole body was burning with flames, there was nothing special about the Bifang bird. Not even as good as the roaring dog just now. At any rate, it can still act coquettishly and cutely, which is a perfect bird. Is it possible that you only know how to light a fire and eat it? The combat effectiveness is unknown? Why didn't you say that it only relied on its strong background to make the list? Obviously it's just mediocre, but because of the strength of our ancestors, it's on the list. It's really capital operation. No matter how powerful our ancestors are, this is still the achievement of our ancestors. What do you mean by the incarnation of fire? Bah! The young master of my clan was born a fire child. Not only can he control fire, the body contains monstrous flames. How can it be compared to a Bifang who can only burn? Look, they are difficult to convince the public. When the Tiandao ranking is over, I don't know how many people will challenge them. Several pets can be on the list, hee, you really can achieve anything if you have the background. Humph, so what if you can enter the Tiandao ranking? It's not like there is no precedent for updating and replacing. That's right. Those geniuses who have dominated the rankings for a long time explain all this. When the time comes, this vain Bifang Niao will naturally not appear on the Tiandao ranking. In the mountains behind the Xiao family, everyone looked at the Bifang bird on the top of the demon locking tower. It suddenly felt incredible. Roaring Sky Dog is on the list, but he has a powerful father. They couldn't understand why Bifang Niao was on the list. But since it can be ranked on the heavenly Dao ranking, it proves that they have certain strength. Immediately afterwards, the second person on the Tiandao list also came out. Second place on the list of kings of heaven, Qianqi, the fierce beast that protects the Xiao family. It is as strong as a tiger and has wings. It cannibalizes people from the head and eat what they eat. The Tao-slaying king is at the 9th level of cultivation and feeds on divine beasts. He is one of the most powerful ferocious beasts in the vast world. Reward for second place in the heavenly Dao king list, doubled physical body strength, 1 heavenly Dao initiation, and 1 drop of quasi-emperor essence and blood. In the picture, Qianqi was crawling at the gate of the demon locking tower. It is said that it looks like a tiger, but it has a pair of wings. Apparently it didn't even open its eyes. But it gave everyone a sense of fear from the bottom of their hearts. After the heavenly Dao initiation, this feeling of fear became even worse. Different from Bifano and Roaring Sky Dog. The first impression Qianqi gives people is that of terror. They couldn't help but feel a sense of fear and panic from the bottom of their hearts. Until the screen disappears. Only then did everyone recover from this sense of fear. Some even couldn't help but swallow. This Kyanki has a fierce aura just sitting there. This ferocious beast of the Xiao family is really something. Just lying there is so terrifying. If you really take action, I'm afraid no one at the same level can defeat you. Everyone was originally quite dissatisfied with the inclusion of the Xiao family's sect-protecting beast on the list. When he saw Kyanki, he immediately gave up his previous thoughts. Bai Fangniao and Roaring Sky Dog don't have that strength. But Kyanki is indeed worthy of its name. Even many Dao Zhan kings felt fear from the bottom of their hearts the moment they saw Kyanki. Even the demon clan members felt the suppression of their bloodline. Even the king of the demon clan is no exception. This is a natural bloodline suppression. Even the reincarnation of the ancient emperor couldn't suppress the fear in his body. He even wants to surrender to his deputy. This is just Kyanki lying down. They couldn't imagine if Kyanki really launched an attack on them. What a picture it will be. Some people with lower cultivation levels have even been frightened out of their true form. Everyone in the Xiao family was also surprised when they saw Kyanki on the list. They knew the horror of Kyanki. But it's never been seen. Compared to other people's expressions of surprise, fear, and timidity, Xiao Xian was very calm. Kyanki is a descendant of the Western Emperor Xia Hao. It is also as famous as Daodi and other monsters. Regardless of bloodline or strength, they are far above Bifang Niao. Even he himself can't guarantee it. Among the same level, he can completely defeat Kyanki. Therefore, Kyanki deserves the second place on the Tiandao ranking. Just when everyone was waiting for the announcement of the top spot on the Tiandao ranking, a burst of golden light shone down from the sky instantly. The ranking of the top 10 kings in southern Xinjiang has been announced. Only the top spot has yet to be announced. Therefore, when the golden glow with the roar of thunder and lightning fell down, everyone looked at the Tiandao ranking in the sky with great anticipation. With waves of deafening sounds passed down. The mood of all the creatures in southern Xinjiang at this moment is almost boiling. It is not only the half-step Supreme Master who can leapfrog and kill who is on the list of Heavenly Dao. There is also Kyanki who is so terrifying that he can suppress his bloodline. I don't know what level of power this person at the top of the list is. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 103. Number 1 on the list of the top 10 kings in southern Xinjiang on the Tiandao list, Xiao Xian, the head of the small family in the Tianluo domain. The 9th level cultivation realm of Dao Slaying King, destroyed the Great Thunder Holy Temple and Zhuanlun Mansion with one person's power. His sword energy gap is a great place for future generations to understand, and he has never failed since his debut. He is the most peerless swordsman in ancient and modern times. His swordsmanship is unparalleled and he can be called the best king in the world. Tiandao ranking of the top 10 kings of southern Xinjiang. Tiandao rewards, divine weapon promotion once, heavenly Dao initiation once. Improved luck, improved physique, master level swordsmanship and martial arts training, a drop of quasi-emperor essence and blood. Then the famous scene of Xiao Xian destroying the Great Thunder Holy Temple and Zhuanlun Mansion appeared on the screen. And that gap of sword energy exuding golden sword light, there happened to be someone who had achieved enlightenment and breakthrough. As the rewards were distributed, Xiao Xian's appearance also appeared on the Tiandao ranking screen. I saw him accepting the heavenly reward with a calm expression. Even the fall of the heavenly Dao initiation did not make his expression change at all. Then he took back the reward calmly and looked towards the sky with a calm expression. He knows what it takes to get to the top of the list. There will definitely be people who are not convinced. I know that you are very unconvinced that I topped the list. Therefore, I will set up a sword energy barrier thousands of miles away from the Xiao family. If you can overcome this barrier, you are eligible to challenge me. The time limit is half a month. I am waiting for you to challenge at any time. Xiao Xian's words continued to echo in the sky. His domineering and fierce voice shocked countless people. As Xiao Xian's figure disappeared from the Tiandao ranking screen, everyone in southern Xinjiang also came to their senses. Xiao Xian is indeed very powerful. But in terms of strength, he is far from the 10th ranked Xiantian turtle. Therefore, all the creatures in southern Xinjiang also feel insulted at this moment. Humph, he is probably the best swordsman. I want to see how powerful your sword is. Isn't it just that the Great Thunder Holy Temple and Zhuanlun Mansion were destroyed? If I take action, it will be your turn to be Xiao Xian. Half a month, right? By then I will have broken through to the Supreme Lord. I want to see how you, Xiao Xian, take my move. The number one king in the world? Humph, that's because you didn't meet me. The number one king in the world and the top of the heavenly ranking list both belong to me. In an ancient deep mountain, a young man wearing simple clothes looked up to the sky with his bright eyes. It wasn't until the rewards from heaven were distributed that he slowly stood up. A magnificent momentum burst out from him instantly. The spiritual energy in the entire mountain was also converging on him at this moment. A moment later, a terrifying kingly aura broke through the sky. The strong pressure caused all the surrounding creatures to give way. In a short period of time, the young man's cultivation level actually broke through to the level of the Dao-slaying king. If the world saw this scene, I don't know how many people would be shocked. As the rankings of the top 10 kings of southern Xinjiang were all announced, the Tiandao ranking also gradually disappeared into the sky. But soon, another golden ray of light shone down from the sky. 2 months later, the list of 36 geniuses in southern Xinjiang will be opened. This time, they will compete with all regions in the vast continent. By then, those who have made it to the top of the list of 36 geniuses in southern Xinjiang can go to the vast continent for the finals. The King's List challenge list is open, and the King's List rewards will remain unchanged for half a year. Challengers on the King List need to be able to kill the third level of the Supreme Lord. Anyone who challenges the King List must prove their strength to heaven. See here. Everyone couldn't help being shocked. The rewards for the King List lasted for half a year. You must know that the rewards on the Genius List are all after the first time. It gradually became less and less, and some even had no rewards at all. But the King List can last for half a year. This is a resource that makes everyone jealous. This moment, almost all the strong men and powerful people in southern Xinjiang were dispatched. Monsters, demons, and hidden families are all heading towards Tianluo territory. They all have one goal: Xiao Xian. However, when the subsequent conditions for the heavenly Dao list were announced, countless people have stopped moving forward. Even if they want to continue to challenge Xiao Xian, heaven will stop them here. Because they are not qualified enough to challenge Xiao Xian at the top of the list. Although they can't challenge it, but it doesn't mean others can't. Therefore, many people rush to the Xiao family in Tianluo domain with the mentality of watching the excitement. After all, Xiao Xian is the only one who can be rated as the best swordsman in ancient and modern times by Tiandao. They would like to see it. How powerful is the sword of this greatest swordsman in ancient and modern times? And does Xiao Xian really have the strength to sit at the top of the list? Although I have the strength to kill the Supreme Lord, due to the concealment method I practice. But the true strength was ignored by heaven. Otherwise, with the strength of this great emperor, how is it possible that you can't even enter the Tiandao ranking? The best swordsman in ancient and modern times, right? Let me meet you. Topping the list of heavenly Dao, you will set a record for being ranked first in the shortest time. For a while, sounds like this kept coming from the sky. Even everyone in the Xiao family was speechless. They even tried to block their hearing. But I don't want to miss the best moment to slap these people in the face. So they all looked at Xiao Xian with half smiles. To know. When the genius list was released. This is how he looked at himself. Now, they are fighting tooth for tooth. Xiao Xian shook his head helplessly. Just ignore the looks of these guys. Enter the system to receive the reward for the Xiao family's ranking this time. Ding, it has been detected that the Xiao family's guardian beast, the roaring sky dog, is on the list, and the blessings of heaven will be automatically converted into redemption points. Ding, it has been detected that the Xiao family's guardian beast Bai Fang Niao is on the list, and the blessings of heaven will be automatically converted into redemption points. Ding, it has been detected that the Xiao family's guardian beast Qianqi is on the list, and the blessings of heaven will be automatically converted into redemption points. Ding, it is detected that the host reaches the top of the Tiandao list, and the Tiandao blessings are automatically converted into redemption points. Total conversion and redemption points, 250,000. This time, 250,000 exchange points were directly exchanged. Plus the previous exchange points on hand. You can also exchange it for the secret realm of causing havoc in heaven. But this time Xiao Xian directly targeted the secret realm. Therefore, these exchange points are still far from enough. Wait until you have saved up enough redemption points to redeem that secret realm. By then, the strength of the geniuses of the Xiao family will be revealed. The entire vast world cannot catch up. Soon half a month passed. During this time, the rankings on the Tiandao ranking were also constantly changing. Except for Xiantian Turtle, who ranked 10th, remained unchanged. Those ranked 5th or lower on the Heavenly Way ranking. Almost all have undergone a major change. And the changes in the rankings of these kings. It also increased everyone's confidence in defeating Xiao Xian. After all, those powerful men are all reincarnations of ancient emperors. This day, Xiao Xian appeared in the sky above the Xiao family with a long sword in hand. By his side, there are 4 chasms with sharp sword energy. Just like the miraculous workmanship of nature, it is impossible to find traces of man-made artifacts. And long before Xiao Xian came here, there are already countless people hiding around here. Just waiting for the day when Xiao Xian and other strong men can challenge. Now, before these 4 sword energy gaps, it was already filled with strong men of the Dao Zhan King level. But what is strange is that these people all chose to confront Xiao Xian. No one attacked. At this time, King Henghai suddenly vomited blood, and his breath continued to drop. He was pale and looking at Xiao Xian with fear in his eyes. Turn out to be. Just now, he used his spiritual consciousness to explore Xiao Xian's cultivation realm. But never thought about it. Unexpectedly, I couldn't feel a trace of his breath. Then, countless figures dressed in white and holding long swords appeared. By the time he realized the danger, it was already too late. Everyone was shocked when they saw this scene. King Henghai is a powerful person who is half a supreme master. But he was injured due to the exploration of his spiritual consciousness. This level of strength is simply too powerful. You must know that King Henghai has the ability to kill multiple supreme masters at the same time. You can't even get close to Xiao Xian's consciousness. Is this the strength that tops the list? Don't jump to conclusions so quickly. Although King Henghai is powerful, but compared with other strong men and powerful men, he is still a little behind. Half a month has passed now, and those great powers must have arrived in Tianluo territory. Yes, I heard that the Sword King has already appeared in Tianluo territory, and it only takes a few breaths to get here. The Sword King's motto is to become the strongest, and defeating Xiao Xian is the best way to prove it. Countless people are constantly discussing it. Sudden, a terrifying momentum fell from the sky. I saw a sharp sword light sweeping across the sky, coming directly towards the Xiao family. Even powerful men and women at the level of Dao killing king and supreme master. He was also shocked by this powerful sword light. Who is this person? He can easily break even my own barrier. Such a strong person is probably invincible among his peers. You don't even know him. This is the famous Mobei Sword King. It's actually the Mobei Sword King. Rumor has it that he once fought against a 5th-level sea beast of the Supreme Lord on the South China Sea Islands. It is said that he slashed his sword towards the South China Sea, and even the sea water was cut off by the wind of his sword, stopping the flow for 100 days. Oh my god! This Mobei Sword King is indeed the best swordsman in the world. Now Xiao Xian has met a real opponent. I don't know if his sword can withstand the Mobei Sword King's sword. After everyone heard that the Mobei Sword King stopped the flow of sea water for 100 days with one strike, he suddenly looked shocked. I was shocked by his powerful strength, but also couldn't wait to see the battle between him and Xiao Xian. At this time, a rugged man dressed in black with scars on his face, appearing in front of everyone with a terrifying power. Everywhere he passed was swallowed up by the cold sword light. I am Wang Lu, the Sword King of Mobei. Xiao Xian, take action. Following Wang Lu's challenge, there was a terrifying power that could frighten all parties, sweeping around in an instant. This sword light can even reach the level of the Supreme Master. They all had to use their own defenses, which shows its power. Just when everyone thought Xiao Xian would take action. But after seeing the other party look at him indifferently, he turned around. Although he never said a word, but his demeanor has informed everyone. Mobei Sword King Wang Lu is not qualified to fight him. This scene is so shocking. At the same time, he also gained a deeper understanding of Xiao Xian's domineering side. Even the Mobei Sword King, who cut off the flow of sea water with one sword and fought against the 5th-level siren of the Supreme Lord, was not qualified. Then what kind of strong and powerful person is needed to fight against him? The Mobei Sword King was famous for his bad temper, and when he saw this, he was immediately angry. Court death. I saw him slashing into the air. A terrifying light instantly penetrated the sky. Even the life around him was swallowed up by this light. I saw him moving quickly. He headed towards Xiao Xian with an extremely suppressive momentum. When encountering those 4 sword lights, the Mobei Sword King sneered. The bronze machete in his hand slashed horizontally. A sword light with extreme white light instantly moved towards the gap between the 4 sword chi. Immediately afterwards, the Mobei Sword King soared into the sky. Just when everyone thought he was going to cross the 4 sword energy gaps, suddenly there was a rumble from the sky. There was originally only a weak sword power gap. At this moment, 4 golden rays of light suddenly burst out, shooting straight into the sky. Next moment, one after another, the cold sword energy soared into the sky, making everyone fearful. The Mobei Sword King sneered again and again, "Can a mere sword energy stop me? Humph, break it for me." I saw Mobei Dao Dynasty swiping in the air. A huge Dharma-like figure condensed behind him. Then the figure waved the giant knife in his hand. An ultimate sword light headed towards the sword light. The two collided. Even the earth trembled. The surrounding airflow was even more shocked by this terrifying power. Just when everyone thought that the sword light was enough to break the gap between Xiao Xian's sword energy, an unexpected scene happened. Above the sky, the golden sword energy carries an aura that makes everyone fear. The sword light was instantly annihilated. Even the sky trembled. There was even a shattering sound in the void. Immediately afterwards, there was a burst of laughter from the sky. The body of the Mobei Sword King was also knocked away by the sword energy at this moment. His body rubbed against the ground for thousands of meters. The blood on his back was dripping with blood, which was frightening. On the ground was a shocking red blood stain. See this scene. All creatures were silent. Even the Mobei Sword King, who had the ability to cut off the flow of sea water, could not get close to Xiaoxian. This moment. They all looked at Xiaoxian with a sense of fear. Even, just think of the scene at this moment. They all had a creepy feeling. The ranking screen of the Tiandao ranking. It was also when Xiaoxian drew 4 sword energy gaps. The real-time live broadcast was started for all creatures in southern Xinjiang. Even if they didn't come to the scene, they could still see this wonderful scene. Countless powerful men and women who have fought against the Mobei Sword King. When I saw this scene, I couldn't help but marvel in horror. The one at the top of the Tiandao ranking is really powerful. Even the Mobei Sword King can't get close to him. Just a gap of sword energy will severely damage the Mobei Sword King, who has the ability to cut off the sea water. Originally, I thought these 4 sword energy gaps were just a trick to deceive people, but I didn't expect it to be so powerful. It's no wonder that the Tiandao ranking rated him as the best swordsman in ancient and modern times. This honor is well deserved. Look at this. The powerful people who come to challenge will be repelled by the 4 sword energy gaps. I really want to see what level of power Xiaoxian is able to use his full strength. It's absolutely terrifying. For a while, everyone looked at Xiaoxian with great awe. Even the powerful and capable people who are preparing to practice in seclusion. He was also attracted by Xiaoxian's sword, and even postponed the retreat time. Just to see the strong man who can make him take action appears. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 104. Good swordsmanship. Let me try it. Xiaoxian, take the move. At this time, another terrifying aura of a strong man came from afar. A fist power that swept across all directions met the sword energy. It turned out to be the Chang'e boxing champion. I didn't expect the Chang'e boxing champion to come too. The Chang'e boxing king is even more powerful than the Mobei Sword King. It is rumored that he once killed a powerful man at the level of the Supreme Lord with one punch. Not only that, this person is also ranked above the Mobei Sword King. Looking at this, he should be able to cross the sword energy gap and face Xiaoxian. Everyone was talking about this. At this time, Chang'e boxing champion in the sky has launched an attack on Xiaoxian. However, before he could get close to Xiaoxian, a terrifying sword energy rushed into the sky from the chasm. Even the powerful Supreme Lord, after seeing this sword energy, he also showed a bit of fear. When the Chang'e boxing champion faced the sword energy, his face condensed and his eyes showed fear. Nice sword move. But it's still a little tender. Break it for me. The Chang'e boxing champion roared loudly, his voice powerful enough to break mountains and rivers. A punch in the air, sweeping across the sky, suppressing all directions. The heaven and earth trembled, and the sky was shattered. The power of this punch made countless creatures tremble with fear. Even a half-step Supreme Master level powerhouse cannot produce such power. As the power of the fist fell, the sharp sword energy was also shaken away. Everyone was stunned at first. Then he reacted. The sword energy was broken. The long-awaited battle is about to begin. He is worthy of being the Chang'e boxing champion who has killed the mighty Supreme Lord with one punch. Even the sword energy gap that severely damaged Mobei Sword King can be annihilated with one punch. Xiaoxian, now you know what real strength is. A few sword energies are just a showpiece in front of a truly strong person. It's time for you to give up your position at the top of the list. The Chang'e boxing champion threw his head back and laughed with high spirits. Then he rose into the sky and headed towards Xiaoxian. However, just when everyone thought this unprecedented battle was about to begin, the sword energy that was originally annihilated instantly soared into the sky. 4 chasms and 4 sword energies all burst out at this moment. It was attacking from both sides, heading towards the Chang'e boxing champion. Boom! The Chang'e boxing champion froze. The sudden 4 waves of sword energy made his pupils shrink suddenly. Then a few punches were thrown. Annihilate these 4 sword energies. However, these 4 sword energies seemed to be flowing continuously. One was annihilated, and another followed. And each sword force is more terrifying than the other. Even the void has cracks. The 4 sword energies erupted from it, carrying an aura that could destroy the heaven and the earth. It attacked Chang'e boxing champion's chest. Coupled with the locking of the sword field and the attack of the attribute sword intention. In full view, Chang'e boxing champion was severely injured by these 4 sword energies. The body was instantly knocked away, and blood flowed from the mouth and nose. Even on the chest, one can see the raging sword energy. The Chang'e boxing champion fainted directly. He was accompanied by several attendants. Several people saw this scene. He hurriedly stepped forward to help Chang'e boxing champion up. He looked at Xiaoxian fearfully. Seeing that the other party had no intention of continuing to attack him. Only then did he help Chang'e boxing champion treat his injuries. And everyone also fell silent after seeing this scene. Chang'e boxing champion's tragic injuries were deeply engraved in their minds. I originally thought that these 4 sword energy gaps were just a showpiece. But never thought about it. This power actually severely damaged Mobei Sword King and Chang'e Boxing King. This is just the gap between the 4 sword energy formed by Xiaoxian. At this time, their focus is no longer on who can win the top spot, but who has the ability to cross the 4 sword energy gaps. How terrifying is Xiaoxian's true strength? It was beyond their imagination. However, the power of the 4 sword energy gaps attracted their attention. As the Chang'e boxing champion was severely injured, he fell into a coma. The following few days, people keep coming to challenge these 4 sword energy gaps. They think Chang'e boxing champion cannot cross. It's just that his strength is too weak. If they go there, they will be able to defeat them easily. However, it was not as expected. All the strong men who come to challenge, they were all severely injured by these 4 sword energy gaps. One of them even lost half of his cultivation. If you want to return to the peak of the Dao Killing King, it will take at least 100 years. This scene shocked everyone even more. Finally, above the 4 sword energy gaps, there was a terrifying momentum. All the creatures in southern Xinjiang looked at the scene on the Tiandao ranking with bated breath. Only one person was seen wearing a yellow robe. A middle-aged Tao Killing King with an extremely majestic appearance. Walking calmly and leisurely through the void towards Xiaoxian. I saw him stagnating on the 4 sword energy gaps. As his momentum exploded, the 4 sword energy gaps were also condensed into one ball. The moment his momentum exploded, the earth trembled for millions of kilometers around it. Even some supreme masters were so frightened by the scene that their expressions changed. Everyone looked at the scene in surprise. This person can even condense sword energy. When his appearance appeared in the eyes of everyone, everyone was shocked. It turns out to be the Heavenly Dragon King of the Heavenly Dragon domain. I didn't expect that even the Heavenly Dragon King would be unable to resist the temptation due to his ranking on the King of Heaven's list. It is rumored that when he was in the first level of the Dao Slayer King, he killed a powerful 3rd level Supreme Master with one punch. No, this is not a rumor. I was lucky enough to witness it with my own eyes back then. It was this battle that let him resound throughout the Tianlong realm. Not only that, the powerful men in the Tianlong realm also named him Tianlong Zunwang. Yes, I didn't expect that after a few years of seeing each other, King Tianlong's strength would be so powerful. Everyone was very surprised by the appearance of Lord Tianlong. But I thought of the rewards from the Tiandao ranking. Then it felt reasonable. With everyone talking about it, The terror of the Heavenly Dragon King is also well known to the world. As a half-step Supreme Master, Tianlong Zunwang, why is he not on the list of Heavenly Dao? You must be ignorant. King Tianlong entered the small world 3 years ago to experience. He didn't come out until the announcement of the Tiandao ranking king list was over, so even the Tiandao ranking didn't notice his aura. No wonder. If he had come out earlier, he would definitely have a place on the Tiandao ranking. There's something fun to watch now, a swordsman and a heavenly dragon king. King Tianlong glanced at the 4 sword energy gaps laid out by Xiao Xian. Nodding, yes, he is indeed an excellent swordsman. It's no wonder these kings avoid you. The sword is a good sword, but it's a pity that you are not qualified to be the best sword in ancient and modern times. Xiao Xian heard what King Tianlong said. He just raised his eyes lightly. Then he ignored it. King Tianlong was not unhappy because of Xiao Xian's indifference. On the contrary, he looked at Xiao Xian with interest. Young man, let me teach you how to write the word modesty today. Then he jumped up. Punch out at the 4 sword energies. This time it's a small world. Although he failed to break through the realm as he wished. But the combat effectiveness has been improved hundreds of times inside. Even in the face of such great power as the Supreme Lord. He can also kill it easily. Not to mention Xiao Xian, who is only at the peak of the Dao King. I saw the collision between fist power and sword energy. A boundless breath burst out. This momentum is enough to shock the space. Not bad, but it's still a little short of heat. King Tianlong sneered. He glanced at Xiao Xian contemptuously. I saw him punch 4 times in succession. Those 4 sword energies were directly annihilated. However, just when King Tianlong was about to go to Xiao Xian, those 4 annihilating sword energies, instantly bursting out of the ground, it turned into 3 fierce attacks. It contains the aura of killing and destruction. It even surrounded King Tianlong. King Tianlong sneered. I saw him take a step back. Make a seal with your fists in front of your chest. A terrifying fist power burst out instantly. This momentum swept all around and soared into the sky. The light of the fist shocked the sword energy that was about to move underground. Directly suppress it underneath. King Tianlong sneered disdainfully. Another punch missed. Those 4 sword energies were suppressed by him. Everyone was horrified when they saw this scene. The Heavenly Dragon King is worthy of being the Heavenly Dragon King. Even Xiao Xian's terrifying 4 sword energy gaps can be suppressed. Xiao Xian's 4 sword energy gaps were so terrifying. All the creatures in southern Xinjiang are there for all to see. I felt the surprised, horrified, and shocked looks in everyone's eyes. King Tianlong held his head high and his chest high. He walked towards Xiao Xian very moved. It's just 4 sword energies. It's not something to be afraid of in front of this king. Subsequently, he punched 3 more times at the 4 sword energies. I saw endless roars coming from the sky. Even heaven and earth trembled. All the exotic animals within hundreds of miles were frightened and fled one after another. And those 3 sword auras carried the aura of killing and destruction. He was also completely annihilated by the Heavenly Dragon King. This moment, King Tianlong stood with his hands behind his back. There was a contemptuous smile on his face. There was a look of disdain in his eyes. Everyone saw the scene and started talking. The Heavenly Dragon King is really powerful. Even these 4 sword energies can be suppressed. Now the unprecedented battle we have been waiting for is finally coming. I didn't expect that Lord Tianlong could actually suppress Xiao Xian's 4 sword energies. You think of a person who is at the top of the Heavenly Dao ranking and a half-step Supreme Master with 100 times the combat power, who is stronger? Of course he is the Heavenly Dragon Lord. Although Xiao Xian is powerful, his background is not as good as the Heavenly Dragon Lord. The Heavenly Dragon Lord is a veteran and powerful man in the Heavenly Dragon domain. Even if Xiao Xian has the approval of Heavenly Dao, it is impossible to defeat him. What's more, during this trip to the small world, Lord Tianlong's combat effectiveness has increased 100 times. That's right. Although Xiao Xian is also at the level of Dao Slayer King, his foundation is not stable. But Xiao Xian won't be ashamed even if he loses to King Tianlong. After all, he is a veteran and powerful person. Everyone was talking about it. The appearance of Lord Tianlong made them change their views on Xiao Xian. After all, a veteran strong man is powerful. It has 100 times more combat effectiveness. Although Xiao Xian is the #1 swordsman recognized by heaven, but his background and strength are still far different from those of the Heavenly Dragon King. Therefore, everyone is very optimistic about King Tianlong. King Tianlongzun looked at Xiao Xian with a smile. I am the king who has crossed the gap between your 4 swords. Why haven't you made a move? What? Are you trying to go back on your word? Everyone saw that Xiao Xian was still standing there motionless. Just wanted to say something. Then he saw Xiao Xian slowly raise his head. His eyes were clear. It was difficult to see the emotions in his eyes. King Tianlong looked at Xiao Xian contemptuously. Just when he wanted to continue taunting. But suddenly his expression changed drastically. Immediately afterwards, Xiao Xian's figure appeared in his consciousness. No. There are countless figures of Xiao Xian. When he wants to look at each other seriously. But he found that Xiao Xian disappeared into his consciousness again. This goes on and on. Next moment, countless Xiao Xian merged into one. A shadowy figure appeared behind him. He saw the phantom taking a step towards him. A sharp sword energy flashed across the void in an instant. Lord Tianlong only felt his hands and feet numb. Even his body seemed to be frozen and unable to move. That sword energy was clearly just a shadow. But he has the power to break the Taoist heart. That moment, King Tianlong felt that he fell from the temple of heaven into the abyss in an instant. And he is proud of his strength and qualifications. It was also disintegrated and frozen at this moment. That sword energy passed through his consciousness. Straight to the heart. Compared to the physical damage, Taoist heart is the foundation of a cultivator. Without Taoist heart, no matter how talented you are, nor can I practice again. King Tianlong's pupils suddenly contracted at this moment. This breath is more terrifying than death. He kept swinging his fists. However, under this sword. But it seems so small. The duel between the two minds. To outsiders, it's just a simple stare. At this time, King Tianlong shouted, "No." Then he saw his body being knocked away. No one has reacted yet. The Heavenly Dragon King was repulsed on the sword gap. There was already blood in his mouth. Even his eyes revealed deep fear and timidity. King Tianlong held his chest for a long time and couldn't let go. That sword just now. Let him see the existence of the god of war. No, it's the arrival of the god of war. How can it be? A cultivator who has reached the pinnacle of the Dao King. How could it be so powerful? No, it's impossible. Not true, not true. How could you? No. Absolutely impossible. Everyone's faces were full of doubts. Obviously, neither Tianlong Zunwang nor Xiao Xian had fought before. The other party suddenly vomited blood. Is it possible that Xiao Xian used some secret method? Otherwise, how can we explain the sudden defeat of King Tianlongzun? If he really uses the secret method, heaven will definitely punish him. However, Tiandao didn't even give any hint, which shows that King Tianlong is not strong enough. Hearing this, everyone nodded. But he soon became confused again. Since Xiao Xian didn't use any secret methods, then how to explain the failure of Tianlong Zunwang? It's a competition between consciousness. An old man's voice attracted everyone's attention. The competition of spiritual consciousness is a comparison between geniuses, and it will not happen under normal circumstances. But if the gap between the two is too great, the scene just now will occur. The old man looked at the scene above the sky. There was a look of horror in his eyes. It can be seen that Xiao Xian's strength is higher than that of Tianlong Zunwang. The old man's words were more cryptic. But everyone heard another meaning. Xiao Xian has the power to absolutely crush King Tianlong. Spiritual consciousness competition is not uncommon among the strong and powerful. So after the old man explained it to everyone, all the creatures in southern Xinjiang also have a certain understanding of the competition of spiritual consciousness. Same. They were also shocked again by Xiao Xian's strength. Even the veteran King Mighty, who has 100 times the combat power. They were all crushed and beaten by Xiao Xian. The strong man who can defeat Xiao Xian. How scary should it be? I'm afraid there is no other one in the entire Nanjiang River. Now, even the reincarnated emperor and the genius who took over the body. They were all shocked by this scene. King Tianlong is already a respectable opponent in their eyes. However, the opponent was directly crushed by Xiao Xian. This shows how powerful Xiao Xian is. Or, where is his upper limit? Everyone looked at the man holding a long sword. A young man in white with a calm expression. I couldn't speak to myself for a long time. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 105. Now. Everyone looked at the figure in white that had not moved for a moment in the sky. Fell into silence. No matter how powerful a person is, he will have his own limit. But Xiao Xian. But it seems like there is no upper limit. From Mobei Sword King to Chang'e Boxing King. And then to the current Tianlong Zunwang. In addition to drawing 4 sword energy gaps. He didn't even move his body. Let alone a real fight with them. Even a powerful man as terrifying as the Heavenly Dragon King. Also after comparing the consciousness with Xiao Xian. He was hit so hard that even the Taoist heart was almost destroyed. Such existence. In front of Xiao Xian, he was like an ant. Is there no one in the entire southern border who can defeat Xiao Xian? Is the strength of the top one on the Heavenly Dao ranking already so terrifying? Everyone heard this man's emotion. Lost in thought again. Even the Heavenly Dragon King, who was separately distinguished by the Heavenly Dragon territory. They were all helpless in front of Xiao Xian. Not to mention them. The feeling Xiao Xian gave them. It's enough to suffocate them. Is there really no power in southern Xinjiang that can defeat him? No. Although Xiao Xian is at the top of the Heavenly Dao ranking. But it is only the cultivation realm of the peak Dao Slayer King. In southern Xinjiang, Zhongtian, and even Tianlong territory. There are also existences such as the Supreme Lord and the God of War. Such a strong and powerful person. Anyone that comes out can kill it. But the fact that Xiao Xian is invincible among his peers. It is also generally recognized. Lord Tianlong woke up after a brief coma. Chang'e boxing champion also slowly woke up under the treatment of his entourage. The Mobei Sword King had already woken up, but he had not left. As the strong men defeated by Xiao Xian woke up one by one. The area around the Xiao family became lively again. But they all chose to stay here. They are waiting. Waiting for someone who can defeat Xiao Xian. They want to see it. Xiao Xian, is he really invincible? The crowd watching was also surprisingly quiet. So smart. Then let me come and meet you. A refreshing laughter came from the sky. I saw a young man in Xingyi coming through the air. However, the moment he claimed to be the emperor, everyone knew his identity. The reincarnated emperor. It was obviously an ordinary step in the air. But there seemed to be a giant dragon under his feet. People who knew him pointed at the phantom of the giant dragon entrenched at the young man's feet and were filled with emotion. I didn't expect that Emperor Longten would come here. This person attracted everyone's attention with just one sentence. The Soaring Dragon Emperor? But the Soaring Dragon Emperor who created the dragon race in ancient times. That's right. Emperor Longten was the product of the combination of the dragon race and the human race. He is born with divine power. Not only that, he also has the blood of the strongest dragon and human beings in his body. Since he was born, whether it was a battle in the north or south, or a battle between strong men, he has never lost in his life. Even when he was a teenager, he had already conquered a galaxy by himself. It was also at that time that the Dragon Clan was founded, and the 8 nine-headed dragon maids around him became the standard equipment for strong men. Subsequently, in all major ancient families, the great reincarnated emperors and the geniuses who seized the body also recognized Emperor Longten. Things about the Soaring Dragon Emperor. It is also spreading rapidly throughout southern Xinjiang. Even Emperor Longten has come forward, which shows how attractive the Tiandao ranking is. The other great emperors who reincarnated chose to compete for the 36 geniuses on the heavenly Dao ranking. Why did Emperor Longten come here? You don't understand this. Emperor Longten has not followed the ordinary path since he was born. Choosing the king's list is in line with his character. But since Emperor Longten has chosen the king's list, it proves that there may be a big opportunity here that is worth taking a chance on. Xiao Xian is the #1 swordsman recognized by the Tiandao ranking, and Emperor Longten is the reincarnated emperor. I wonder what kind of sparks the two of them will create. It goes without saying that although Xiao Xian has the qualifications to be a great emperor, Emperor Longten is a quasi-great emperor. Xiao Xian will definitely lose. You can't say that, Xiao Xian hasn't used a sword yet. But even if he fails, it is still a gain. After all, even a powerful person like Tianlong Zunwang cannot take one of his moves. The great emperor who was reincarnated like the Longten emperor and the genius who took over the body. The moment I saw the opponent competing for the king list, I didn't know what to say for a moment. They are reincarnated, but they are all here for the great opportunity on the list of geniuses. There are only the geniuses of the younger generation. Only then will there be a great possibility of obtaining the great opportunity of this life. However, Emperor Longten chose the king's list. I really don't know whether to call him courageous or extremely stupid. But this is just their inner thoughts. Although they are all reincarnated emperors. But there is also a gap in strength. For a while, everyone once again focused their attention on the scene above the sky. At the same time, Emperor Longten has arrived in front of the 4 sword energy gaps. There were constant rumbling sounds in the chasm. Although there is no scattered sword energy. But that roaring sound. But it gives people a kind of extreme oppression. It will feel like a big explosion. Emperor Longten stood with one foot on the gap between the 4 sword energies. I saw him slowly moving forward with a smile on his face. Then a giant dragon phantom was released. The phantom looked up to the sky and roared. Don't directly enter the gap between the 4 sword energies. The chasm that was still rumbling. It became extremely peaceful at this moment. Everyone was shocked when they saw this scene. Xiao Xian's 4 sword energy gaps are terrifying. They have all witnessed it with their own eyes. Now the Soaring Emperor only released a giant dragon shadow. He easily suppressed this raging sword energy. As expected of the reincarnation of the great emperor, this level of strength is intimidating to us. Just a shadow is enough to make us scared. At this time, there is another world in southern Xinjiang. Many people gathered in the restaurant, discussing the strength between Emperor Longten and Xiao Xian. Xiao Xian will definitely be defeated this time. How can Emperor Longten's strength be matched by him? Chen Tianji is a famous intelligence spy in Tianji Valley. The moment he saw Emperor Longten take action, He put down his bold words. However, his words did not elicit much response. On the contrary, it was also despised by many people. Especially the know-it-all. You can judge a person based on just one word. Is this the intelligence capability of Tianji Valley? Bai Xiaotong sneered and took a drink. Chen Tianji pushed aside the crowd and walked up to Bai Xiaotong angrily, looking at him contemptuously. If Xiao Xian can win, I, Chen Tianji, will go around Nanjiang shirtless and shout, Tianji Valley is not as knowledgeable as you. Both Tianji Go and Bai Shaitong are intelligence spies. And they all develop in southern Xinjiang. The two have had an antagonistic relationship since their inception. Now that they meet, they are even more jealous. Bai Xiaotong raised his eyebrows. As the number one swordsman recognized by the Tiandao ranking, Xiao Xian can reach the top of the list if he doesn't have any strength. Although Emperor Long Teng is the reincarnation of the great emperor, can you 100% guarantee that he will win? Bai Xiaotong's words caused everyone to fall into silence. The person who can be rated as the best swordsman in ancient and modern times by Tiandao. There was only one person, Xiao Xian. And they have also seen Xiao Xian's strength. Although Emperor Long Teng is the reincarnation of the great emperor. But it doesn't mean that he is very sure that he can defeat it. After all, the Xiao family has a precedent of a genius defeating an emperor. Even the geniuses of the Xiao family are so powerful. What's more, what about Xiao Xian, the head of the Xiao family? Chen Tianji sneered when he heard this. Since you are not convinced, how about we make a bet? Bai Xiaotong opened the folding fan in his hand, looking at him with some interest. What's the bet on? It's a bet. Since you are optimistic about Xiao Xian and I am optimistic about Emperor Long Teng, we will bet on their outcome. As for the bet, Chen Tianji glanced at Bai Xiaotong with a half smile. The losing side will withdraw from southern Xinjiang and will never be allowed to enter again. As soon as these words came out, many people cast disdainful glances at Chen Tianji. This one is simply an unequal bet. Anyone with a discerning eye can see that Emperor Long Teng will be the final winner. And Chen Tianji from Tianji Valley. But he treated Bai Xiaotong as a fool. And Bai Xiaotong was actually able to accept such a bet. It's really puzzling. You must know that southern Xinjiang is the main area for their development in the past dynasties. If you exit from southern Xinjiang, it's like cutting off a big arm on your own. Bai Xiaotong hesitated for a while. Add another additional condition. Didn't you just say that if Xiao Xian wins, just run around southern Xinjiang shirtless and shout that Tianji Valley is not as good as a know-it-all? How about just adding this condition? Chen Tianji agreed without thinking. It's a deal. He even mocked Bai Xiaotong. Anyone with a discerning eye knows that Emperor Long Teng will be the final winner, but you chose Xiao Xian. I really don't know whether to call you stupid or that you are an old calf and not afraid of tigers, ha 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 ha. Faced with Chen Tianji's ridicule, Bai Xiaotong did not show any dissatisfaction. Instead, he looked at Chen Tianji meaningfully. Who can know the final result until the matter reaches the final step? After saying that, he turned around and left. No matter what Chen Tianji looks like behind him. After everyone left Bai Xiaotong, there are constant discussions about his behavior today. Even his own men were surprised. However, Bai Xiaotong went straight to the private room of the hotel. At this moment, there was a young man in black sitting inside. Behind him was a black coffin. The moment Bai Xiaotong saw the boy in black, there was an expression of admiration in his eyes. When I first saw this young man in black, he provoked the king of Zhandao because of his probing for information. Just when he thought he was going to die here, this young man in black suddenly appeared. Not only saved him from it, he even severely injured the Dao slaying king. It was also after that time Bai Xiaotong is not as good as himself at this level of cultivation. But the boy in black, who had the ability to seriously injure the Tao-killing king, changed his mind. During the next few collaborations, he becomes stronger every time. He even broke through to the Tribulation Realm half a month ago. Directly kill the Zhan Dao king who was chasing him with one sword. At that time, he had just broken through the Tribulation Realm. Even Bai Xiaotong began to doubt his identity. After many investigations, it was finally determined that he was an unparalleled genius. When the boy in black saw Bai Xiaotong, he didn't make too many expressions. I saw him speaking calmly. Is the matter done? Don't worry when I do things, but why is brother Xiao so sure that Xiao Xian will win? Although he is the best swordsman in ancient and modern times, his strength is still far behind that of the ancient emperor. However, the young man in black only glanced at it lightly. Then he said something that made Bai Xiaotong regret. Oh, he is the head of my family, so I trust him. The boy in black that Bai Xiaotong mentioned was Xiao Zhangtian. Although he still looks like a teenager, but the vicissitudes of life in the corners of his eyes and eyebrows have already informed others what kind of suffering he experienced during the time he left the Xiao family. Bai Xiaotong almost fell off the stool. I bet this guy is a blind worshipper. Bai Xiaotong suddenly smiled bitterly. Brother Xiao, if you had said this earlier, I would definitely not have made such a bet with Chen Tianji. He believed that Xiao Zhangtian was right. But it doesn't mean that he trusts Xiao Xian. Even if he is the head of Xiao Zhangtian's family. Even the best swordsmen in ancient and modern times recognized by heaven. None of them have anything to do with him. It's good now. Bai Xiaotong could even imagine Chen Tianji laughing at him. However, Xiao Zhangtian didn't take it seriously. He just said calmly, if the head of the family loses, I will give you 2 years of free work. Hearing Xiao Zhangtian's assurance, Bai Xiaotong felt relieved. There was even a little hope that Xiao Xian would be defeated. After all, Xiao Zhangtian was by no means an ordinary person. If he had helped me at Nowao for 2 years, even if Bashitang withdraws from the southern Xinjiang area, it can also shine in other places, even larger than the current scale. But he also knew the reason why Xiao Zhangtian agreed so readily. It was also for an old piece of information from know-how. The two of them can be considered to have what they need. Now that brother Xiao has spoken, I, Bai Xiaotong, can't say anything else. Finished. He focused his gaze on the scene above the sky. At the same time, Emperor Longteng has arrived opposite Xiao Xian. Just when everyone thought the two were about to fight, Emperor Longteng frowned. It even makes interesting sounds. I didn't expect that the number one swordsman here who is feared by countless kings is actually just a clone. Interesting, really interesting. Emperor Longteng's voice could not be calmer. However, everyone in southern Xinjiang was extremely shocked after hearing this. Countless uproar sounds rang out from the crowd. What? Clone. This means that the person who defeated the Heavenly Dragon King, the Chang'e Boxing King, and the Mobei Sword King turned out to be just a clone. No way. Emperor Longteng must have seen it wrong, right? How is that possible? He is the reincarnated emperor, and his tone does not sound like he is lying. Oh my god, a clone can severely damage King Tianlong. This is too terrifying. For a time, countless creatures were shocked. They couldn't even believe their ears. Defeated countless strong men. Even the Heavenly Dragon King was invincible, but it turned out to be just a clone. Everyone felt like all the blood in their bodies was flowing backwards. The eyes looking at Xiao Xian's clone also became more odd. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not fo. Chapter 106. At this time, Bai Xiaotong was sitting in a private room drinking tea. He looked at Xiao Zhangtian standing aside with a surprised expression. "Aren't you surprised?" He couldn't even bear to ask what he was thinking. Xiao Xian only had one clone. It would be able to severely injure King Tianlongzun. This is something unprecedented in southern Xinjiang. At this moment, he felt as if his blood had been coagulated. However, Xiao Zhangtian looked at him with an indifferent expression. It seems that he already knows everything. Bai Xiaotong couldn't help but come forward. Did brother Xiao already know that this was just a clone of Xiao, the head of the Xiao family? Xiao Zhangtian shook his head lightly. "No, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was the head of the family who did it. Because his mystery and power are far more than that, even if he is fighting against the god of war at this moment. Even defeating him doesn't bother me at all because it's so easy for him." When Xiao Zhangtian said this, his eyes were filled with adoration. The trip to the secret realm that caused so much trouble in the heavenly palace has been deeply engraved in his mind. In the heavenly world, who is not a terrifying existence? Even Tai's Hanglejun, who has the insight into the existence of all of them through countless galactic years. He also couldn't sense Xiao Xian's existence. Even Emperor Haoshan, the founding Yuanling. They all regarded themselves as juniors in front of Xiao Xian. So, when he heard that it was just a clone of Xiao Xian, wouldn't be surprised. Because these are compared to the secret realm of havoc in heaven. It really can't be compared. Yet he wasn't surprised. It doesn't mean that Bai Xiaotong is not surprised. A rumor about the Xiao family quickly flashed in his mind. "Brother Xiao, there have been rumors in Tianzhou for a long time that among the Tianzhou list of Tiandao ranking, your Xiao family occupies 7 places. I don't know if it's true." This matter was already known. Especially after the battle between Xiao Tianyun and Luo Fanshan. It is even spreading in southern Xinjiang. But because of the emergence of geniuses in the later period, defeated emperors emerged one after another. In addition, there are no new hotspots in the Xiao family. This matter was gradually forgotten. But Bai Xiaotong is an intelligence spy. How could he let go of such an excellent opportunity to find out information? Xiao Zhangtian nodded, acknowledging the authenticity of this matter. In the list of geniuses, my Xiao family occupies the top 7, among which the demon clan at the bottom. Because he challenged the current number 2 on the list, he was tamed as a mount and is now in the capital of Nanming. Bai Xiaotong couldn't help but gasp when he heard this. On the list of geniuses in the Tianluo realm, the Xiao family occupies 7 positions. He even subdued a demon clan as a mount. He knew this demon clan before. Not only does he have the bloodline of the golden winged Dapen, there is also the phenomenon of atavism, and he is the young master of the demon clan. Even ordinary sects. Even after his young master was bullied, he had to fight against the injustice. What's more, the demon clan. But until the king list appeared, he hasn't heard any news about the demon clan wanting to settle accounts with the Xiao family. This is really weird. But it also explains something. The Xiao family is by no means an ordinary person. Then, he couldn't help but ask Xiao Zhangtian. With your current strength, after returning to the Xiao family, where can you rank on the list of geniuses? In the eyes of Bai Xiaotong. With Xiao Zhangtian's current strength, he can definitely rank among the top 10 in the heavenly Dao ranking. No. It's not just the list of geniuses in Tianluo domain. Southern border, Zhongtian, and Tianlong territory. As long as he wants. Among the top 10 geniuses in these regions, he can have a place. Xiao Zhangtian's strength was so terrifying. He had seen it with his own eyes. However, Xiao Zhangtian was thinking about Xiao Jiangxin, Xiao Yan, and others. Fell into silence. Although he has already broken through to the tribulation realm. But he didn't have the ability to connect with any of their moves. Looking at Bai Xiaotong with an expectant look on his face. Xiao Zhangtian lowered his head calmly and continued eating. Don't look at it. With my strength, I can't even take one of their moves. Bai Xiaotong almost shouted and stood up. He looked at Xiao Zhangtian with disbelief. Xiao Zhangtian just glanced at him lightly. You and I have been together for so long, when have you ever seen me lie to you? This moment. Bai Xiaotong was completely shocked. He even developed a keen interest in the mysterious Xiao family. What kind of family it is? Only then can we cultivate so many extraordinary geniuses. And what kind of strength does Xiao Xian, the head of the family, have? When Bai Xiaotong looked towards the sky again. Xiao Xuanqi, who was dressed in white. There was actually a look of expectation in his eyes. He even wanted to see it. Xiao Xian, what method will he use to defeat Emperor Long Teng? At the same time, Chen Tianji under the restaurant was still discussing Xiao Xian with everyone. Although Xiao Xian's clone is powerful, he is facing Emperor Long Teng. If he were an ordinary person, he might still have a slight chance of winning, but Emperor Long Teng is a reincarnated quasi-great emperor. Let's not talk about their powerful strength, but also the secret methods and magic weapons behind them. They are no longer of the same class. If we really take it seriously, I'm afraid that a few more clones of Xiao Xian won't be enough to kill him, so Xiao Xian will definitely lose in this battle. Everyone also agreed after hearing Chen Tianji's remarks. The power of the reincarnated emperor. It's not just a gap in strength. More, you can never guess. How much background and means does he have? That suffocating terror. It is above the bones. Bai Xiaotong stood on the attic watching this scene. Suddenly he laughed with relief. He even regretted it a little. Why would you make such a bet with Chen Tianji? At this time, the atmosphere in the Xiao family was extremely strange. A kind of genius including Xiao Jiangxin and Xiao Yan. They all looked at Xiao Xian with extremely speechless eyes. Not only did the other side not take the challenge to heart. He even drank tea very leisurely. Not only that. He even went to challenge the powerful kings who came to challenge him. They just sent a clone. What's more terrible is, this clone was transformed into a strand of his hair. And these geniuses. I just happened to witness how this strand of hair turned into a clone to complete the mission. To put it simply, it means pulling out hair and squeezing sperm and blood. Then write a composition created by Xiao Xian. Just like that, the clone was created. It is said that this clone is very difficult to make. Or the equipment required is very complicated and rare. They can still accept it? It just happened to be a strand of hair. A strand of hair. And this strand of hair actually blocked so many powerful men and women who came to challenge him. They should say that Xiao Xian didn't take them seriously. Or those people are just too weak. When Emperor Long Teng broke Xiao Xian's clone, Xiao Yan couldn't help but step forward. Master, the other party is the reincarnated emperor. Are you sure you don't want to come forward? Even if you just show up, that's fine. At least let people think that you regard him as your opponent. Rather than like now. Look at the picture of Tiandao Bang like a magic trick. Facing the speechless expressions of all the geniuses of the Xiao family. Xiao Xian also rolled his eyes at them angrily. No, one clone is enough. It's just you. Only then would he be stupid enough to run up there and act like a monkey for others. Something that can be solved by a clone. Why do you need to show up in person? Wouldn't it be nice to just be a melon eater? Everyone heard Xiao Xian's answer and his carefree face. I suddenly felt even more speechless. All right. The head of the family is powerful. It is beyond our comparison. At this time, in the picture of Tiandao ranking, Emperor Longteng has already looked at Xiao Xian's clone. This great emperor has already broken the gap in your swordsmanship. Why, your true form is still unwilling to come out. Do you think you can defeat me with just one clone? Xiao Xian's clone was pouty indifferently. Who knows, I haven't tried it yet. As soon as these words came out, everyone was shocked. Obviously they didn't expect Xiao Xian's clone to say such words. It's so arrogant that a clone still wants to defeat the soaring dragon emperor. I think Xiao Xian was confused by Tiandao's comments about him. So much so that he can't distinguish between reality and illusion. He did not offend Emperor Longteng alone, but all the reincarnated emperors. This is going to be a good show. Even if Emperor Longteng doesn't care, the other emperors won't let him go. Don't tell me, when I came here just now, I felt the anger of several great emperors. When Xiao Xian said that sentence, all the reincarnated emperors and the supreme geniuses in southern Xinjiang were angry. What a Xiao Xian, how dare you despise our strength? Xiao Xian, I remember you. Don't let this emperor see you, otherwise, I will definitely let you see what it means to be crushed by strength. Even the heavens and the world dare not underestimate this great emperor. You are the first. All the reincarnated emperors were stimulated by Xiao Xian. They can't wait to go to Tianluo territory right now. Beat Xiao Xian severely. But what they don't know is, Xiao Xian really didn't take them seriously. Because he feels these reincarnated emperors serve as his opponents. It's really a little weak. Emperor Longteng obviously didn't expect Xiao Xian to say such a thing. So he asked again. You sure? Xiao Xian nodded lightly. When have I told lies? If you can defeat this clone of me, it doesn't matter if I give you the top spot on the heavenly Dao ranking. For a time, countless people's eyes were focused on Xiao Xian. Their eyes all revealed horror and disbelief. Xiao Xian would actually say such words to a great emperor. In his eyes, a great emperor is not even qualified to fight with his true form. This is simply shocking. As expected. After hearing this, Emperor Longteng, his expression suddenly turned gloomy. There was such a half-smile on his face. It was also replaced by anger at this moment. Yes. Emperor Longteng was angry. No one has ever said such a thing in front of this emperor, and you are the first. As a founder, you will naturally be severely punished. Today, let me destroy your clone first. Then he went to the Xiao family and destroyed your true body. It's not in vain for you to humiliate this great emperor. The angry voice of Emperor Longteng continued to echo in the sky. The other reincarnated emperors also sneered after seeing this. Emperor Longteng is the founder of the dragon race. Its strength is naturally extremely powerful. Especially his dragon roar for 9 heavens. Even the emperor at the peak of ancient times did not dare to accept the move easily. I saw Emperor Longteng burst out with energy. A huge dragon appeared behind him. The long dragon had the momentum of swallowing up the world. Soaring straight into the sky. Even the sky was trembling. The roar of the giant dragon continued to echo in the void. Those roars of dragons shook even the void with a shattering sound. I saw the giant dragon descending from the void. Flames burned from its body. Instantly transformed into a fire dragon. Everyone was shocked when they saw this scene. Even when King Tianlong saw this fire dragon, his body couldn't help but tremble. Not to mention the Mobei Sword King and Chang'e Boxing King. At this moment, they were shocked speechless by the powerful aura of the fire dragon. Is this the power of the great emperor? A single strike can make everyone fearful. Even if the reincarnated emperor comes in reincarnation, they will still have absolute crushing strength. Even the most powerful man cannot catch the power of this fire dragon. Xiao Xian is at the 9th level of Dao Slaying King's cultivation. He is also a clone, so he will definitely lose. If Xiao Xian's clone fails, I'm afraid the Xiao family will also be extinct today. The emperor cannot be humiliated. This moment, everyone's eyes were focused on Xiao Xian's clone. Although we already know the outcome, but they still couldn't help but want to take a look. What kind of counterattack would Xiao Xian's clone make to withstand this fatal blow? Faced with such a blow, Xiao Xian just smiled indifferently. Obviously this blow couldn't penetrate his eyes. I saw the waning moon sword in his hand unsheathed. A sword energy instantly cut through the sky. The force of the sword slashed across the void. With the carnage that destroyed the world, he directly faced the fire dragon of the soaring emperor. Just a casual swing of the sword. The fire dragon that terrified countless people. It was defeated like this. Everyone rubbed their eyes in disbelief. This, a clone defeated the fire dragon. He doesn't seem to have used all his strength yet. This clone is so powerful. Without waiting for everyone to react, Xiao Xian took one step forward. A sword in the air. I saw the sword energy carrying the aura of immortal desolation heading towards Emperor Longteng. You want to defeat this great emperor with just a single sword move? Dreaming. Emperor Longteng sneered. Punch out. The two giant dragons phantom transformed into a fire dragon. Carrying the power of the monstrous flames, it headed towards Xiao Xian. A dragon, a sword, the two collide. The remaining power even shattered the void. This scene was played in real time by Tiandao Bang from 3 different angles. Everyone can also see more clearly the fighting skills between the two. Just when everyone thought Xiao Xian's clone was about to dissipate, a horrifying scene happened. I saw 2 collisions. Emperor Longteng was actually knocked back a few big steps. But Xiao Xian's clone still stood motionless. I read that right? The soaring emperor was actually repelled. This clone of Xiao Xian is too powerful. Even Emperor Longteng can't resist it, it's so terrifying. The entire southern Xinjiang was shocked by the scene and boiled up again. Even Emperor Longteng himself didn't think of it. He would actually be repulsed by the local genius. He was shocked all over. A terrifying momentum burst out instantly. Then a huge dragon appeared behind him. That long dragon is hundreds of feet long. The body was burning with monstrous flames. Then it turned into a series of fierce punches. Keep attacking Xiao Xian. The power of this punch is enough to poke a huge hole in the void. Under such a killing move, Xiao Xian's expression remained unchanged. The waning moon sword was unsheathed in his hand. Take one step. Facing Emperor Long's killing moves, he seemed to be able to do so with ease. Emperor Longteng was completely angered. Continuously increase the power of your attacks. However, no matter how he attacks, he couldn't break through Xiao Xian's defense. Above the sky, a series of terrifying punches kept beating. The terrifying sword force was raging in the void. The picture of the Tiandao ranking also became broken. Therefore, the Tiandao ranking has once again strengthened the live broadcast function of the Tiandao ranking. After hundreds of moves, everything around has been completely destroyed. The crowd was still watching nearby. They have already retreated to places dozens of kilometers away. Some of them were injured by this residual power because they did not give in time. In the eyes of onlookers, this is the decisive battle they have been waiting for. And in the eyes of the reincarnated emperor and the genius who seizes the body, this was already Emperor Longteng's all-out attack. It was just a clone of Xiao Xian. When everyone is thinking about this, I just feel my scalp is numb. Emperor Longteng saw that he could not break through Xiao Xian's defense. Then he thought about exhausting the spiritual power of this clone. Then use the killing move to destroy it. However, his idea was just taking shape. He was repulsed by Xiao Xian's sword. The idea is good, but it's a pity that your strength is not enough. Xiao Xian pointed out his purpose calmly. Emperor Longteng suddenly felt like he had been stripped naked. His complexion also turned livid. Ha, after all, you still don't dare to show your true identity. Facing Emperor Longteng's provocation, Xiao Xian shook his head lightly. If you can't even beat my clone, how can you talk about a true duel? You bastard! How can you humiliate this great emperor? Emperor Longteng became furious instantly. He is the reincarnated emperor. In his previous life, he was an existence that frightened countless people. Now he is being humiliated by an ordinary man. However, Xiao Xian didn't care at all about his emotional changes. In his eyes, these reincarnated emperors and body-stealing geniuses are just pitiful people. So pitiful that he needs to compete with the genius of another era for a big opportunity. Then he spoke slowly. 3 swords, if you can catch my 3 swords, you will win. I will give up the top spot. Everyone who saw the scene didn't know what to say. On the one hand, they feel that they are talking nonsense. On the other hand, Xiao Xian's clone showed absolute strength. Even the soaring dragon emperor couldn't make him exert his full strength. But one thing they are sure of. The winner is about to be decided. When had Emperor Longteng ever suffered such humiliation? I saw him exploding all the momentum around him. He even activated the secret method. Not to mention 3 moves, I can easily catch 300 moves. Even if your true form is here again, this emperor can crush it. If it was a previous duel, people may think that Emperor Longteng has this strength. But at this moment, they all shook their heads. Who wins and who loses has become a foregone conclusion. I saw Xiao Xian swinging a sword in the air. A sword light with extreme flames instantly rushed into the sky. Onlookers dozens of kilometers away were shocked when they saw this scene. Quickly use the magic talisman to evacuate from here quickly. I saw the flaming sword energy falling from the void instantly. Even everyone in the Xiao family was surprised. Xiao Yan was even more attracted by the flame sword energy contained in it. The auras of Samadhi True Fire and Sun True Fire were shocking. I didn't expect that Samadhi True Fire and Sun True Fire could be used like this. Immediately afterwards, Xiao Yan entered into a state of enlightenment. Xiao Jiangxin also saw this flaming sword energy. He realized new magical powers of swordsmanship. This flaming sword energy caused Emperor Longteng's expression to change drastically. But how could he give up so easily? I saw him punching the air. A fist power that suppressed all directions instantly collided with the flaming sword energy. The two collided. Mountains and rivers shift, stars fall. The void barrier was broken, and countless cracks appeared on the earth. Wherever the flaming sword energy reaches, there is no life left. After the first sword collision, Emperor Longteng was not only knocked back several steps. Even his body was burnt black by flames. Even the hair was burnt a lot. However, Xiao Xian couldn't care so much. I saw him swinging his sword into the air again. There were constant rumbles of thunder and lightning in the sky. I saw the thunder and lightning shooting straight into the sky from the long sword in Xiao Xian's hand. Different from the power of fire. This thunder and lightning sword energy has the attribute of thunder and lightning. It has a terrifying power that can shatter everything. Even Jamal Xiao was shocked by this sword. The lightning attribute can actually be used like this. Then he also entered into enlightenment. All the geniuses of the Xiao family also fell into realization. Subconsciously, he glanced at Xiao Xian, who was still leisurely and happy. Although a bit cunning. But it's still great for them. Emperor Longteng saw this scene. With fear in his eyes, he looked at Xiao Xian with great fear. He didn't expect Xiao Xian's sword to be so powerful. Even his secret method can be broken. He then punched the air several times with both hands. A huge Dharma image appeared behind him. I saw that the Dharma image instantly turned into a huge long dragon. The dark scales emitted a ghostly light. Boom! Under the second collision, a huge mushroom cloud exploded in the sky. Huge cracks appeared in the earth and mountain peaks within millions of kilometers. Some were even directly razed to the ground. Under the billowing smoke, everyone only saw purple thunder and lightning flashing continuously. Wait until the smoke clears. Everyone was shocked by what they saw. Emperor Longteng was defeated. At this moment, he was on his knees, ragged and dilapidated. There are still thunder and lightning flashing on the body. There is no intact skin on the body. This moment, the majesty of the great emperor can no longer be seen in him. Everyone couldn't help but gasp. 3 swords. Emperor Longteng couldn't even take 2 swords. Not only did he no longer have the ability to fight, even standing up is difficult. At this moment, Xiao Xian's clone also underwent subtle changes, different from the previous substance. At this time, his clone had a vague feeling of transparency. Everyone was dumbfounded. They should be grateful for how powerful the local talent is. Or is it that the soaring dragon emperor is nothing more than this? Even the local prodigy's clone couldn't defeat him. Looking at the defeated Longteng emperor in front of him, there was no emotion in Xiao Xian's eyes. In his eyes, defeating a reincarnated emperor is not a big deal. Such a look fell in Emperor Longteng's eyes. But it became something else. I think he was the reincarnation of the great emperor and the founder of the dragon tribe. At this moment, he is treated as an ordinary person by an ordinary person. This not only hurt his self-esteem, it made him feel that his emperor's face was insulted. But at this moment, he had all kinds of emotions and dissatisfaction. It can only be swallowed back into the stomach. Xiao Xian glanced around lightly. If there are still people who want to challenge me, please come forward. This will be the last challenge. But when you come to challenge, you'd better be prepared to die. Because I will not show mercy anymore. Finish this sentence. Xiao Xian disappeared directly from everyone's sight. I have finished watching the drama I should watch. The majesty was also established. Even if it's just a clone. Xiao Xian also felt that a lot of time was wasted. Have this time. He might as well cultivate a few more geniuses. Then compete for the list of geniuses. Bring him a reward of exchange points. Therefore, he also dropped his harsh words. Anyone who wants to challenge again can do so. Live. Xiao Xian's words instantly spread throughout the southern territories. If you usually hear this sentence, they will definitely refute or even ridicule. However, after seeing Xiao Xian defeat Emperor Longteng with just 1 clone, everyone fell into silence. A clone that even the reincarnated emperor cannot defeat. Not to mention them. Among those at the same level, Xiao Xian is said to be invincible. No one dares to challenge. Even the powerful ones at the level of the Supreme Lord. When facing Xiao Xian, you also need to be careful. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 107. As the Tiandao list screen gradually disappeared. Only then did everyone come back to their senses from the confusion. But Xiao Xian's 2 swords that shocked the world. But it can't be dissipated in everyone's mind for a long time. Especially when I recall the tragic defeat of Emperor Longteng, I feel even more sad. Even Emperor Longteng was defeated by Xiao Xian's clone. I thought Xiao Xian was just talking nonsense, but I didn't expect that he really has this strength. Those 2 swords are enough to be recorded in the annals of history. Even the Tiandao ranking has given them extremely high praise. Did you hear about it? Because of Xiao Xian's sword, that person from Zizulan understood the field of swordsmanship. He is now a half-step martial god. It is said that he has been practicing in seclusion at this moment, and is ready to break through to the martial god at any time. What does this mean? The one from the southern Xinjiang Fire Cloud Sword sect realized Xiao Xian's flame sword energy. Now with his sword, not even the god of war dares to get close easily. The powerful master of thunder and fire cultivation in 10,000 Monster Mountain, after Xiao Xian swung his thunder and fire swords. He actually directly realized the artistic conception of thunder and fire. Even directly break through the god of war. Everyone couldn't help but sigh when they heard this. Just 2 sword moves from the clone. It actually made so many powerful people gain insights from it. Even breaking through the realm because of it. What if the real body is here? As everyone continued to discuss, more and more news of powerful people gaining enlightenment came through. The geniuses of the Xiao family also benefited from Xiao Xian's 2 swords. More or less I gained some insights. Xiao Xian put down his teacup and prepared to leave the meeting hall. This time the clone defeated Emperor Longteng. It has helped him solve the troubles faced by countless kings. It's time for him to do what he should do. After all, even the reincarnated emperor was defeated by his clone. Not to mention the real body. Although he doesn't take reincarnated emperors like Emperor Longteng seriously. But I can't stand up to someone else's famous name. The outside world thinks highly of them. If those reincarnated emperors and the geniuses who seize the body could hear Xiao Xian's thoughts, he would probably be so angry that he would vomit blood. Their strength is no matter in the past life or in this life. They are almost top-notch existences. In the end, Xiao Xian never considered them as opponents. In Tianlu City, Chen Tianji looked at the disappearing Tiandao ranking with disbelief. He couldn't have imagined it. As the reincarnated emperor, Longteng Emperor was no match for Xiao Xian's clone. How is this possible? That Xiao Xian must have used some secret method. Otherwise, how could Emperor Longteng lose to him? Bai Xiaotong didn't know when he came down from the attic of the restaurant. Brother Tianji, if Xiao Xian really used the secret method, how could Emperor Longteng do nothing? At this moment, Bai Xiaotong was looking at the furious Chen Tianji opposite with a smile. Now that the outcome has been decided, I wonder if Brother Tianji can fulfill his promise. The moment Bai Xiaotong appeared, everyone in the restaurant looked at Chen Tianji. I want to see if he will honor this bet. After all, Tianji Valley has 100 years of development history in Tianlu City. And Tianlu City is at the junction of various major regions. It can be said to be the best place to get information. Once you exit from here. Not to mention that the foundation will be affected. Even the latest hot news cannot be kept up with. Really? Chen Tianji's face turned pale after hearing this. Withdrawing from Tianlu City would be equivalent to voluntarily abandoning this excellent intelligence territory. By then, his status in Tianji Valley will plummet. But don't quit. Even if the spies from Tianji Valley continue to be stationed here, no one would be willing to look for information from someone who was dishonest. Therefore, Chen Tianji suspected that Bai Xiaotong already knew the final result. Otherwise, with his character, he would never bet with himself so confidently. You already knew that Xiao Xian would defeat Emperor Longteng. Besides, he couldn't think of any other reason. Bai Xiaotong heard this, but he sneered disdainfully. Chen Tianji, you think too highly of me. A reincarnated emperor and the best swordsman in ancient and modern times. The two are of equal strength. Even the powerful and powerful people like the Supreme Lord can't see it, let alone me, an intelligence investigator. Everyone nodded in agreement upon hearing this. Emperor Longteng is the reincarnation. If he hadn't appeared this time, almost no one knows he exists. Xiao Xian is the head of the Xiao family. But it is also the dragon that has seen its tail but not its head. This time the two fight against each other. It was even more unexpected. Don't say Bai Xiaotong can't see it. Even the know-it-all villa master behind him may not be able to see it. Chen Tianji's face turned pale. His eyes stared blankly at Bai Xiaotong. He admitted that he failed this time. Complete defeat. He staggered and sat slumped on the stool. I lost. From today on, Tianlu City will be your intelligence territory of Wanshitong Villa. However, Bai Xiaotong had more than one bet with him. Brother Tianji, wait a minute, there is still a bet between you and me. Chen Tianji suddenly became angry. I had to slam the table and question him. But he saw Bai Xiaotong looking at him with a smile on his face. Everyone just heard that if Brother Tianji lost, he would go around the southern border shirtless and shout that Tianji Valley is not as good as Wanshitong Villa. Bai Xiaotong, don't bully others too much. Chen Tianji suddenly became furious. Bai Xiaotong doesn't care about his mood changes. The two of them have been enemies for many years. In terms of intelligence, there is even more hatred. Now there is a reason to deal with him openly. How could he give up so easily? Brother Tianji, it's okay if you don't want to fulfill it. After all, this is not a promise made to me alone. Bai Xiaotong is indeed a smiling tiger. Just one sentence put Chen Tianji into a dilemma. They are people in the intelligence business. What matters is the word integrity. If you don't even have basic integrity, even if Chen Tianji has a chance to make a comeback, no one would want to believe him. Although Chen Tianji lost the bet, but it doesn't mean that he has no chance to come back. Everyone was also surprised when they heard these words. Withdrawing from Tianlu City has already severely damaged the opponent. Let him go around southern Xinjiang and shout. Wouldn't it mean to directly beat the opponent to half a disability? Even though Chen Tianji knew the pros and cons of this. But if he wants to start over, you must fulfill your promise. Although he made this bet. However, it did not specify the form, method, or even time. Therefore, Chen Tianji changed several times. Finally in front of everyone, he ran out shirtless. He also yelled, Tianji Valley is not as good as Wanshitong Villa. For a time, the entire southern Xinjiang people were shocked by this sound. Although the duration is short, but it can be regarded as a promise fulfilled. Looking at Chen Tianji's actions, Bai Xiaotong shook her fan with a smile. Brother Tianji really promises 1,000 pieces of gold. Chen Tianji looked at him with a livid face. Bai Xiaotong, what happens today, we will fight to the death. After that, he left quickly. Bai Xiaotong sees that the goal has been achieved. Then he went to the attic of the restaurant. Brother Xiao, this method is really good. Not only did it help me solve the territory problem, but it also ruined Chen Tianji's reputation. Bai Xiaotong saluted Xiao Zhangtian as soon as he entered the door. Xiao Zhangtian looked at him with an indifferent expression. Bai Xiaotong naturally knew what he meant. Brother Xiao, please rest assured, you and I are brothers in life and death, and now you have helped me occupy the entire Tianlu city at Wanshitong Villa. I, Bai Xiaotong, will definitely give you the information you want with both hands. Brother Xiao, please wait here for a moment. Hear this. Xiao Zhangtian nodded, that's it, thank you very much. As Bai Xiaotong left the restaurant, Xiao Zhangtian's gaze also became more determined. With this information, I can find the inheritance of Emperor Kishan. It will still be some time before the list of the 36 geniuses of southern Xinjiang is released, and this period of time is enough for me to be on the list. Long Ling, just wait, I will definitely rescue you. Soon. Bai Xiaotong came back again with information. From the moment he handed the information to Xiao Zhangtian, then he knew that he and Xiao Zhangtian were no longer the same person. He might have a smooth career in the intelligence services. Xiao Zhangtian is a proud man who can become a man of amazing talents. Even set foot in the heavens and worlds. After getting what you want, Xiao Zhangtian left directly, on the way to find the inheritance of Emperor Kishan. And at this time, The Xiao family once again caused an uproar. Ever since Xiao Xian's clone defeated Emperor Long Teng, the Xiao family was peaceful for a few days. However, no one came to challenge Xiao Xian. But it doesn't mean that no one else will challenge the Xiao family's top talent. On the 10th day, a male demon male with a golden lion appeared at the entrance of the Xiao family. He squatted on the ground and looked at the roaring dog that was chewing the bones of the monster beast. Are you the roaring sky dog? This bone contains a demon beast at the level of a Tao-killing king. It is said that the skin and flesh of the sea monster are very delicate, and even the bones are very crispy. I wonder how it tastes. Realized I was off topic. The golden lion shook his head and stood up immediately. I am the young master of the Golden Lion clan, the Golden Retriever Lion King Xie Bugzun, and I come to challenge you today. Xie Bugzun looked at the roaring sky dog feasting happily. Couldn't help but swallow. Smell good. I'm going to catch one to eat when I get back. With that said, he was about to turn around and leave. But at this time, the live broadcast of the Tiandao ranking had appeared. Even if Xie Bugzun wanted to go back on his word, he couldn't. And he came to challenge the roaring dog. It's also because those characters on the Heaven's Path list are not easy to mess with. Just a roaring sky dog seems to be easy to bully. But so be it. He was a little hesitant to challenge. After all, if you win the battle, you win a dog. You lose the fight. Ahem. The sentence "I can't even beat a dog" can stay with him for the rest of his life. At this time, the picture of Tiandao ranking appeared. It made everyone laugh. Xie Bugzun, the young master of the Golden Lion clan, actually wants to challenge a dog. This is really unheard of. Roaring Sky Dog, who was chewing bones, felt that his food was being washed. He immediately stared at Xie Bushun with his teeth bared. Woof! Then a dog barked from him. A powerful demonic energy also erupted from the roaring sky dog. The fierce light in his eyes suddenly burst out. However, it was originally an extremely terrifying moment. But it looked weird because of this dog barking. Xie Busun himself also looked up at the Tiandao ranking screen. Suddenly embarrassed. This scene spread to the eyes of everyone in southern Xinjiang, instantly causing laughter. Howling Sky Dog, right? Since you can reach the 4th place on the Heavenly Dao ranking, it means you still have some strength. Let's do this. I will give you a move and give you a chance. Xie Bushun coughed twice and looked at Roaring Sky Dog proudly. Even though he wanted to dig a hole and bury himself at the moment. Roaring Sky Dog saw this. He immediately rushed towards Xie Busun. As a descendant of Sirius, its strength is naturally extraordinary. Plus he has the bloodline of an ancient ferocious beast. Not to be underestimated. I only saw the moment when he soared into the air. A huge Sirius Dharma statue appeared behind him. Immediately afterwards, its body is also growing in size. It turned directly into a black dog with a height of tens of meters and a huge body. The roaring sky dog has the ability to swallow the sun and the moon. In addition, its ancestor is one of the top ferocious beasts. Even the 10 most ferocious beasts of the prehistoric times would be a bit wary when they saw it. Xie Bugzun naturally saw the power of roaring sky dog. At this moment, his face became very solemn. He suddenly turned into a huge golden lion. He looked up to the sky and roared loudly. A 9-headed golden lion appeared behind him. The two collided. Even the sky was trembling. Everyone in the Xiao family saw the scene on the Tiandao list. I was also completely surprised. Roaring sky dogs are all docile and well behaved in their eyes. It became so powerful at this moment. Even the combat power has increased hundreds of times. Suddenly he swallowed with fear. The roaring sky dog exploded with all its strength and kicked Xie Bugzun in the chest. It seemed that he was thinking of what Xie Bugzun said about wanting to eat food. The roaring sky dog immediately opened its mouth. He was going to bite Xie Bushun's throat. Just in the nick of time, a fierce palm wind pierced the sky. It fell directly on the head of roaring sky dog. Only a muffled sound was heard. Xiao Tianquan only felt that his head was bitten by a mosquito. Then he shook his head. Then he looked to the other side with a surprised look. At this time, a man in green clothes appeared in front of him. I saw him standing in front of the golden lion Xie Bugzun. Everyone was a little surprised when they saw this. I didn't expect that Qing Yuning's holy son Li Yuning would also come. Look at the roaring sky dog. Under such a terrifying palm from Li Yuning, it didn't even get hurt at all. The defense power of roaring sky dog is simply astonishing. It's no wonder that he is ranked 4th on the Tiandao ranking. This strength is well deserved. None of the geniuses of the Xiao family are easy to mess with. If Li Yuning comes to rescue me, I'm afraid he won't be able to defeat him. Everyone nodded when they heard this. Li Yuning stood in front of Xie Busun. He looks extremely calm on the surface. His hands were shaking. He had tried his best on that slap just now. However, this roaring dog was not affected at all. It's him. Instead, he was shocked by the roaring sky dog's defense. Xie Busun stood up holding his chest. Thank you, Brother Yuning, for the rescue, otherwise I, Xie Bugzun, would have died here. I cannot thank you enough for your kindness. I am so grateful and I will definitely thank you again in the future. Then both of them looked at the roaring dog with a fierce look on the opposite side. It's the two of them joining forces. Nor is he a match for the other party. At this time, the hair all over roaring sky dog's body exploded. He was always ready to take action against Xie Bugzun and Li Yuning. At this time, Xiao Tianyun appeared. Howling sky dog, come back. Although roaring sky dog is not satisfied. But after hearing Xiao Tianyun's voice, he still obediently came down from the air. He turned into that obedient look again. Xiao Tianyun touched roaring dog's head. Throw him a piece of fresh meat still stained with blood. Then the roaring sky dog held the meat in its mouth and wagged its tail at him. He lay down in his position again and continued eating bones. After calming down the barking dog, Xiao Tianyun looked at Li Yuning and Xie Bugzun above the Xiao family. The voice was indifferent. We, the Xiao family, will not care about what happened today. You two, please leave. But if there is another time, you two should be prepared to stay and feed the roaring sky dog. Hearing Xiao Tianyun's words, Li Yuning and Xie Busun were immediately pardoned. He saluted Xiao Tianyun. I cannot thank you enough for your kindness. I am grateful and will definitely thank you again in the future. After saying that, I felt that I should be more polite. After all, he is the young master of the Golden Lion clan. Send hello to the head of the Xiao family for me. I cannot thank you enough for your kindness. I am grateful and will definitely thank you again in the future. Everyone felt embarrassed when they heard this. If it weren't for this, Xie Bugzun would be the young master of the Golden Lion clan. They all wanted to rush up and sew this guy's mouth shut. Li Yuning on the side also felt very embarrassed. He hurriedly pulled the Golden Lion and left here. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 108. With the departure of Li Yuning and Xie Bugzun, everyone also understood one thing. None of the geniuses of the Xiao family are easy to mess with. To be on the heavenly Dao ranking, his strength is also extremely powerful. After the battle between Roaring Sky Dog and Xie Bugzun, the Xiao family has also become much calmer. Many Xiao family disciples have also entered into their own cultivation. However, the peaceful time did not last long. Many other kings came to challenge. Until Bai Fangniao spit out a mouthful of divine fire crow. Annihilate a king on the spot. And after the ferocious beast Kyanki destroyed the legendary king with one kick, the Xiao family has truly come to an end. And the top 4 in the Tiandao ranking are the kings. It has also become the Xiao family's exclusive list. Xiao Xian also received a lot of redemption point rewards this month. Plus the other geniuses of the Xiao family dominate the rankings on the genius list. Now he already has millions of exchange points in his hands. And this exchange point, it was enough for him to redeem that secret realm. By then, the strength of the Xiao family's genius will also enter another level. In addition to his own cultivation level, he is still stuck at the peak of the Dao Slaying King. Everything else is moving in a good direction. The list of the 36 geniuses of southern Xinjiang is about to be released. Xiao Jiangxin, Xiao Yan, and others were already waiting for Xiao Xian at the door. The moment I saw Xiao Xian come out, everyone bowed down and saluted him. Xiao Xian nodded and took a seat at the head of the meeting hall. "Are you all ready this time?" Xiao Xian looked around. Xiao Tianyuan, Xiao Jiangxin, Xiao Yan, and others looked at each other. His eyes were full of confidence. Xiao Jiangxin took a step forward. "Master, don't worry." His voice was calm, but there was a sense of confidence in his words. Xiao Xian nodded when he saw this. He still fully recognized the strength of these geniuses from the Xiao family. When his eyes glanced at Xiao Jianfeng beside him, Xiao Xian paused for a moment. There was worry in the other person's eyebrows. Even if you try your best to hide it on your face. Xiao Xian knew what he was worried about. Then she spoke to comfort him. "Elder Jianfeng is worried about Xiao Zhangtian." Xiao Jianfeng sighed after hearing this. It's good to fail. At least it will allow him to retreat from difficulties and know how to make choices. Xiao Xian smiled and said, "I think Xiao Zhangtian can be ranked among the 36 geniuses." When Xiao Jianfeng heard this, he felt that Xiao Xian was just trying to comfort him. Now the list of geniuses will be released. But Xiao Zhangtian hasn't come back yet. Xiao Xian knew what he was thinking. Although Xiao Zhangtian is a child of the Xiao family, the list of geniuses does not stipulate that it must be in one area. As long as he is strong enough, he can be on any genius list in the vast continent. Xiao Xian did not expect that Xiao Zhangtian would definitely be on the list of geniuses. But before the list of geniuses is released, he received the redemption points for the blessings of heaven. This proves that the Xiao family has a genius on the list. And Xiao Xian also thought of Xiao Zhangtian immediately. He couldn't keep up with Tianluo Domain's list of geniuses. But he can compete for the top talent lists in other regions. After Xiao Jianfeng heard Xiao Xian's words, "The stone in my heart has finally fallen to the ground. As long as the person is fine." Since Xiao Xian said this, it proves that he has other means to get the news. Therefore, I will focus on the heavenly Dao ranking. At this time, a golden light has been shed on the sky. The total list of 36 geniuses in southern Xinjiang has appeared. Sudden. A deed-shaped text appeared on the Tiandao ranking. Anyone who enters the Tianjiao ranking in each region's Tiandao list will be guided by the Tiandao list and goes to the Tianjiao world to compete for ranking. The much anticipated list of the 36 geniuses of southern Xinjiang is about to begin. In this list, they will see the fight between the reincarnated emperor, the emperor's son, and the local genius. Although Xiao Xian's king list is also very interesting, but the appeal is far inferior to the list of geniuses with ancient and modern strong men fighting against each other. At this time, the voices of the reincarnated emperor and his son were heard from all over southern Xinjiang. The top spot on the list of 36 geniuses must be in this emperor's bag. A reincarnated emperor made arrogant words. "I have been planning for today's opportunity for many years, and now my moment of transcendence has arrived." A terrifying emperor exuded the ultimate power of fists, as if he wanted to swallow up the heaven and the earth. As time goes by, the day I have been waiting for has finally arrived. The top of the list of 36 geniuses will be the testimony of my transcendence. A young emperor with extreme sword power looked at the heavenly Dao ranking with piercing eyes. If you reincarnate, you can easily get great opportunities. Those ancient martial emperors, Emperor Kishan and Emperor Genpin, would both choose to reincarnate here to seize opportunities. With their strength, how can you wretches be able to fight for it? What my father said is true, every era will have great opportunities to transcend. But those who can obtain it must be the proud ones. And the great opportunity that my father calculated back then. It is in this life that I do not hesitate to sacrifice myself to cultivate myself, just to be the proud son of God in this life. If it is really as planned by you reincarnated emperors, with my father's qualifications back then, is there still a chance for you to show up and seize the opportunity? It's so ridiculous. The opportunities of the times always belong to young geniuses. And I, Wang Teng. He is the proud man recognized by the times. The great opportunity of this era will eventually belong to me. Father, you tried so hard to put me to sleep, and I didn't wake up until now. It proves that transcendent opportunity has chosen me. Wang Teng looked at the pictures gradually appearing on the Tiandao ranking. There was a blazing fire in his eyes. He is bound to get this opportunity in this life. At the same time, other geniuses also appeared in other areas of southern Xinjiang. I have already understood the field of gun art, and I possess a peerless spiritual body, with the ability to leapfrog challenges. This time, I will definitely have a place on the list of the 36 geniuses of southern Xinjiang. A young man holding a long gun, with a spear realm erupting from his body. At this moment, his eyes were looking towards the sky. I have been born with strange phenomena since I was born. Not only do I possess peerless qualifications, but I also have the bloodline of my ancestors. He even defeated 4 ancient emperors some time ago. With my amazing talents, the top of the list of 36 geniuses must be mine. What kind of ancient emperor? It's just a defeated general under his command. The young man is surrounded by all kinds of rare and exotic animals. The demonic aura that erupted around him made countless people fearful. Those reincarnated emperors are in his eyes. Nothing to fear. The time for half a stick of incense has passed. The guides from the Tiandao list also appeared in front of the geniuses from each region. Xiao Tianyuan, Xiao Jiangxin, Xiao Yan, and others stepped forward. The golden light took them directly to the world of Tianxiao. Everyone in the Xiao family immediately cheered up. Looking at the picture of Tiandao ranking, I don't know about the competition for the talent list this time. What kind of sparks will there be? At the same time, the major geniuses in other regions of southern Xinjiang, they all also received notifications from the Tiandao ranking. Even the ancient emperor, the son of the Emperor Duoshi. They all became nervous. They did not hesitate to cut off their cultivation and reincarnate, just for this moment to come. As the geniuses from each region were picked up and led away, the picture on the Tiandao ranking was transferred to the world of Tianxiao. At this time, there are a total of 810 geniuses from various regions in southern Xinjiang, all gathered in the world of Tianxiao. These pictures are divided into 810 pictures according to the area. Xiao Xian quickly found the area where Xiao Jiangxin and others were. With the gathering of 810 geniuses, the picture of Tiandao ranking has also undergone huge changes. I saw only the originally flat place in Tianjiao's world. There was a sudden tremor. Immediately afterwards, a huge mountain with an ancient atmosphere gradually appeared in front of everyone. Above the mountains, there is a white mist surrounding nothingness. The mountain peak also revealed a boundless breadth of heaven. Taoist platforms gradually appeared on it. Light is the radiance that emanates. It has already made all the geniuses feel excited. From the top of the mountain to the foot of the mountain, A total of 36 Taoist platforms appeared. That is to say, 810 geniuses will compete here for these 36 Taoist platforms. Immediately afterwards, a terrifying and majestic momentum fell from the void. Even the living beings in southern Xinjiang are separated from the Tiandao ranking screen. They all also felt the terror of this aura. The world of geniuses, 36 geniuses, 36 platforms. Each Taoist platform contains great opportunities. One day of practice on this Taoist platform can reach the outside world for 100 days. The genius who is located on the 36 platforms will be selected as the top 36 in southern Xinjiang. At that time, the Tiandao ranking will automatically issue rewards. During this period. Competition, life, and death are all God's will. Everyone felt the overwhelming aura coming from the Taoist platform. Almost at the moment Tiandao announced the news, the 810 geniuses present set off to fight for it. We are also ready to go. Seeing this, Xiao Jiangxin and others also chose to move forward and participate in the fight. Just when a group of geniuses flew over the mountain, a force of pressure immediately suppressed them. Even the ancient emperor and the genius who seizes the body cannot resist. This scene was conveyed to all living beings in southern Xinjiang through the Tiandao Bang screen. Everyone was surprised when they saw this scene. What's going on? Even the ancient emperor and his son can't get rid of this oppression. Could it be a test from heaven? No, if it were really a test of heaven, it would never be that simple. Is it possible that there are restrictions? Everyone was speculating about this scene. Neither a test nor a limitation. Then why do these geniuses suddenly fall? Even the ancient emperor who was known as the emperor of a region. There is no way to get rid of such checks and balances. Even if everyone racked their brains, they couldn't guess the reason. In the scene at this moment, many ancient emperors chose to leap again. But just halfway there, he was knocked down by this coercion again. Gravity field. Xiao Xian explained to everyone in the Xiao family calmly. This gravity field contains the power of the laws of heaven, and even the ancient emperors cannot break free. Everyone in the Xiao family heard Xiao Xian's explanation. It suddenly became clear in my heart. Under the pressure of the gravity field of the law of heaven, even the great emperor who is known as a quasi-immortal can't get rid of it either. The 810 geniuses also felt the unusual pressure. Jump to the bottom and change into a segment. The speed is much faster than before. This coercion actually contains the aura of the laws of heaven. Even just walking in it, I can feel the relaxation of my body's cultivation. If we can understand a hint of the gravity field under the laws of heaven, it will also be a great help to our future practice. Xiao Tianyuan, Xiao Jiangxin, Xiao Yan, and others noticed the unusual aura inside. I chose to move forward by walking. At this time, a figure of a young man in green clothes appeared beside them. I saw him smiling evilly at a few people with disdain. Then he disappeared in front of them. Soon, the geniuses of the Xiao family were left behind by everyone. However, Xiao Tianyuan and others did not become panicked. Instead, he walked towards the peak of Tianjiao world step by step. Everyone in the Xiao family couldn't help but become worried when they saw this scene. After all, there are only 36 Taoist platforms on the mountain. Seeing this scene, Xiao Xian nodded appreciatively. Yes, walking can alleviate the pressure of the gravity field of the law of heaven. At the same time, I also gained insights from it. Even walking can be practiced. These proud sons of the Xiao family are really extraordinary. However, some local talent showed a bitter smile. Even under the pressure of the gravity field, those reincarnated emperors and their sons, you can also easily go to the mountain peak. Some have even gone to the top of the mountain. And but he can't even get past the foot of the mountain. Some can't even reach the foot of the mountain in Tianjiao world. This makes them feel extremely embarrassed. The first place on this platform belongs to this emperor. Only you. How dare you compete with me? Go to hell for me. Oh, even a mere ant wants to fight for the top spot of the 36 platforms. You must die. The competition for the genius under the Taoist platform has begun. However, there are more geniuses. But his progress stopped thousands of miles away. Instead, I choose to gain insights around here. Everyone saw this scene. Everyone knows it. They have missed the opportunity to compete for the 36 talents list. This is just the field of gravity under the laws of heaven. Not to mention having to deal with the reincarnated emperor and his son. And a life and death battle for the top talent in each region. The battle continues. Just a few breaths away. Many geniuses and reincarnated emperors have fallen. Some powerful reincarnated emperors and sons of emperors. Then he went directly to a higher mountain. Just like what they came for. Compete for the greatest opportunity. Become the strongest and the strongest. As the fight continues, an unparalleled genius also appeared in front of everyone. Some directly killed the emperor and his son. Seize the Taoist platform for practice. Some are firmly on the forefront of the Taoist platform. All living beings in southern Xinjiang are also eager to spread the news about the deeds of these geniuses. Xiao Tianyun and others chose to walk. It has long been forgotten by everyone. But they do. The first 7 positions of the 36 platforms. It must belong to their Xiao family. The top 7 on the 36 prodigy list. It's also something they have in their pocket. This is not only their confidence. It is also proof of their strength. Therefore, within this month, they chose to understand the gravity field that contains the laws of heaven. Even if it's just a little bit of scratching the surface. It's a powerful improvement for them all. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 109. Everyone turned their attention to the top of Tianjiao Peak. They want to see what kind of strong man he is. Only then can we sit firmly on such a platform. All the reincarnated emperors and emperors' sons also took action one after another. Head towards the top of Tianjiao Peak. Waves of breath that shattered mountains and rivers, swallowing the heaven and the earth. It kept erupting in Tianjiao Peak. Everyone in southern Xinjiang saw this scene. I was surprised by that. Look. That's Emperor Thunder. He's competing with several local geniuses for the 25th position. Thunder Emperor? He was a king in his time. And Emperor Tianshui. He is actually competing with others for the 31 Taoist platform. Oh my god. That's Emperor Tianshui, and he only dares to compete for the 31 Taoist platform. Not only them, but even Emperor Longyun worked hard to win the 20-ranked position from several great emperors at the same time. This is the result of him deploying the Dragon Cloud Hammer. It can be said to be a narrow victory. Even the emperor's son was seriously injured. If it weren't for his profound knowledge, he might have died. Look, that's Emperor Tian's. He only took the 18th position on the list of geniuses. Look at the Bingpo Emperor. After defeating several great emperors of the same period, he doesn't dare to continue to challenge. That's right, he seems to be very afraid of being in the top 7. As the name of the ancient emperor was announced, everyone couldn't help but click their tongues. These ancient emperors and their sons. In their time, they were all overlords of one domain. However, in the battle for the prodigy list, with their strength, he didn't even dare to compete for a better ranking than this. However, but everyone discovered something strange. The local genius hasn't taken action yet. They seem to be waiting for the fight between the ancient emperor and his son. Choose to take action again. Look, they're taking action. It's Dongji Sword Lord. His sword moves contain the realm of swordsmanship that swallows the sky and the earth. One sword can travel 100,000 miles across the sky. Even the emperor would not dare to accept the move easily. Even such a strong person can only be ranked 28th on the list of geniuses. Bidao Daejun also took action. He once defeated 3 emperors by himself. The power of his sword contains a huge thunder and lightning concept. If I face such a sword, I will only die. Look, he actually severely injured Emperor Tian's. It's simply too terrifying. Have you noticed that the power of the sword is leaking out from where Emperor Tian's was wounded by the sword? Everyone was shocked when they saw this scene. The wound on Emperor Tian's body will not recover for 10 days and a half. Furthermore, there are no medicinal materials that can restore injuries in the world of geniuses. This Emperor Tian's has no chance to compete for the ranking of geniuses. I don't blame Bidao Daejun for being ruthless. The competition for the top talent list is too fierce. Of the 810 geniuses, only 36 geniuses can be on the list. Not even the reincarnated emperor and the emperor's son dare to fight for it with all their strength. Because once they are injured, other geniuses will have the opportunity to take advantage of them, and they may even die because of it. The Heavens Dao ranking is a lie. Anyone who is injured or dies while competing for the Heavens Choice ranking is God's will. For a time, countless people were talking about it. Although some geniuses have defeated the reincarnated emperor before. But it was far less amazing than this visit. Emperor Tian stood on Tianjiao Peak, holding the knife wound on his chest. His eyes showed murderous intent, and he stared at Bidao Daejun with murderous aura. Bidao Daejun, do you know how long this emperor has been planning for this competition for the talent list? And you dare to interrupt this great emperor's bid for the prodigy list? Do you know what the consequences will be? Emperor Tian's whole body instantly erupted with strong killing intent. This momentum is even across the sky. It also made everyone's expressions change drastically. Not to mention the geniuses close to him. The moment the evil energy around Emperor Tian's burst out, the expressions of the surrounding strong men also changed. This time they did not try their best to compete for the prodigy list. The main reason is these 36 geniuses. People who can occupy a place in these 36 geniuses. No matter what the future holds. They will not be ordinary people. Bidao Daejun faces the threat of Emperor Tian's. Not showing any fear. On the contrary, he looked at Emperor Tian's with some disdain. Since I have the ability to knock you off the platform and injure you severely. This proves that I, Bidao Sword Master, have the ability to kill you. Is it possible that Emperor Tian's wants to lose his life just for the sake of competing for the top talent list? You. Emperor Tian's clutched his chest and became furious. But what the other party said does make sense. What's more, he is now in the world of genius. Even if he has the ability to be resurrected again. But it doesn't mean that the Tianjiao world has no limits. Otherwise, that notice wouldn't have been posted. Therefore, even if Emperor Tian's is dissatisfied, he is also afraid of the restrictions on the laws of heaven. But anyone with a discerning eye knows it. Emperor Tian's will not give up. After the end of the Tiandao ranking, he will definitely go to find Bidao Daejun to take revenge. Bidao Daejun didn't care at all. In his eyes, the reincarnated emperor just has a great name. Bidao Daejun is fully capable of killing him. Everyone was surprised when they saw this scene. He was even impressed by the strength of Bidao Daejun. Really? In the face of absolute strength. Even if it is an existence like the reincarnated emperor. Not their opponent. Although Bidao Daejun became famous in this battle. But he also completely offended a reincarnated emperor. Even if he has the ability to kill the reincarnated emperor. But the reincarnated emperor also has a trump card that they don't know. No matter what angle you come from. Beidao Daejun is an unwise choice. Although other geniuses were impressed by his courage. But I won't choose the same path as him. The battle for the 36th platform is finally coming to an end. The 4th and 5th places were won by two reincarnated emperors respectively. Now only the top 3 spots are still in contention. Look, it's Changjai Fist Lord Mo Changjai. It is said that he has understood the field of boxing and has a half-body of artistic conception. Legend has it that he defeated a reincarnated emperor in the last competition for the prodigy list. I even fought against 3 great emperors, and one of them was seriously injured and almost died. We are not surprised that he ranks among the top 3 on the list of 36 geniuses. There is also Guhan, the holy son of the eternal Holy Land, who tore apart a reincarnated emperor with his bare hands. Everyone heard this. Immediately gasped. Tear apart the reincarnated emperor with your hands. This level of strength is simply terrifying. Then everyone turned their attention to another reincarnated emperor. However, I found that no one knew it. Who is this reincarnated emperor? I don't even know him. Although you and I don't know him, his aura and reincarnation aura are stronger than those of other great emperors. How could the identity of this great emperor be so mysterious? At this time, it was above Tianjiao Peak. The 3 geniuses have become in a confrontational situation. However, the leader of the reincarnated emperor spoke first. You two go and choose the 2nd or 3rd positions. I won't fight with you. Although your qualifications are good, you can't even take one of my moves. Lord Changjai Fist Mo Changjai and the Holy Son of the ancient Holy Land look sulky. Although he is the reincarnated emperor. But both of them have the ability to kill the emperor. Such words. You simply don't take them seriously. Mo Changjai was completely angered by these words. Immediately there will be a burst of power and a battle with it. Guhan on the side was calm. Stop Mo Changjai before he takes action. You have a familiar aura about you, it doesn't look like you were reincarnated from another era. This breath is more like the breath coming out of the vast continent. Who are you? As soon as Guhan's words came out, all the creatures in southern Xinjiang are boiling. There are very few great emperors who have left the vast continent. After Emperor Kishan walked out of the vast world, even the vast world was shocked for a while. But at that time, Emperor Kishan was already in the realm of quasi-immortal. We even set foot on the starry sky ancient river. Although the person in front of me also came out of the vast world. But it is obviously not on the same level as Kishan Emperor. The man heard Guhan's question. With a hint of melancholy on his face, you are right. This emperor is indeed a person from the vast world, and so is Zhang Taixu. Guhan and Mo Changjai heard this. He suddenly gasped. It's not just them. Even the creatures in the entire southern Xinjiang were shocked by his name. Zhang Taixu. But after Kishan Emperor, the 2nd warrior god to step onto the ancient river in the starry sky. I didn't expect it to be Emperor Taixu. It is said that after entering the ancient starry sky river, he became the great emperor in a very short time. Then when he fought with the 6 veteran emperors, he not only suppressed the opponent, he even killed 2 veteran emperors. It was that battle that made him famous. And he is also the 2nd emperor most likely to become a quasi-immortal after Emperor Kishan. I didn't expect that I would choose to come to this life to seize the opportunity. Mo Changjai and Guhan suddenly fell into silence. The look he looked at Zhang Taixu also had a hint of fear. Obviously they were no match for him. Mo Changjai sneered. I didn't expect that the majestic Emperor Taixu would choose to compete with future generations of geniuses for great opportunities. Guhan heard Mo Changjai's mocking words. I felt inexplicably relieved. He has the qualifications of Emperor Taixu and can fight against 6 veteran emperors without defeat, yet he does this kind of thing. It's really beyond my expectation. Faced with the ridicule of the two Zhang Taixu was not angry either. On the contrary, I felt a little regretful and unwilling. You two don't need to be angry. If I hadn't been attacked by bad guys back then, I would be a quasi-immortal now. Mo Changjai and Gu Han heard this. All frowned. Zhang Taixu just smiled faintly. Back then, I fought against 6 veteran emperors, and indeed I killed 2 of them. But at the same time, he also fell into their tricks. Among them, there was a powerful being who was a half-step quasi-immortal. When I was dueling with several other great emperors, they severely injured me. If I hadn't used all the secret methods to escape, I had already been killed by them, but when I fled, I didn't pay attention to the surrounding situation. I accidentally arrived at the land of immortals and fell into a coma. When I woke up again. Now that I have come to this life, if I had not been attacked by them, I would be a quasi-immortal at this time. Speaking of which, Zhang Taixu's face actually showed a bit of bitterness. Everyone was also shocked by Zhang Taixu's words. I didn't know what to say for a moment. So fell into silence. Even Mo Changjai and Gu Han didn't speak. Zhang Taixu saw that the 2 of them were silent. He took the initiative to invite a fight. I know you 2 are dissatisfied with me, so be it, I will give you 3 moves, within 3 moves. If you 2 can beat me, the top spot will be given to you. After all, I have no choice but to come to this life. Since God's will is like this, I can only go with it. Everyone heard what Zhang Taixu said. I just think it's a little weird here. But I can't say what's weird about it. After all, he is the Taixu Emperor. He also has the qualifications to become a quasi-immortal. Unless he was attacked by someone. Nor will it come to this life. Therefore, everyone forgot about this weirdness. Gu Han and Mo Changjai saw Zhang Taixu's move. They all chose to give up. Although the 2 of them are top geniuses. But he didn't have the ability to fight against Emperor Taixu. Because the 2 had a fight before. They also have an understanding of their respective strengths. Because Gu Han directly took the 2nd place. Mo Changjai sat down in the 3rd position. At this time, all 36 Tau positions have been occupied. This battle can be considered over. But this is above the Tau level. The reincarnated emperor alone has occupied 20 positions. Except for Tian's emperor, he was not on the list. The rest is on top of that. Everyone saw this scene. I was also extremely dissatisfied. It is obviously a great opportunity that only belongs to local geniuses. However, the reincarnated emperor and the emperor's son fought for more than half of it. But they dare not speak out in anger. Therefore, we can only look for that trace of happiness from Emperor Tian's. Even if Emperor Tian's wants to continue fighting. However, his injuries were too serious. If it is not stabilized by the use of spiritual power, I'm afraid he won't even be able to appreciate other opportunities in the Tianjia world. Even if I feel the strange eyes of others, he could only stare back fiercely. At this time, Xiao Tianyuan, Xiao Jiangxin, Xiao Yan, and Xiao Qingyun appeared in front of everyone. Hey, the competition for the Taoist position is over. I knew we should have been faster, so we could have fought with them a few times. The dull conversation between a few people instantly attracted everyone's attention. Especially Xiao Qingyun, who has a purple and gold fire cloud sculpture on his shoulder. Coupled with her stunning beauty that would captivate the entire country. It shocked everyone present. Several people walked directly around Emperor Tian's. Walking towards the top of Tianjiao Peak. Not even the corner of his eye was given to Emperor Tian's. Emperor Tian's was immediately furious. The humiliation I originally suffered from Beidao Daijun. He seems to have found a place to vent his anger. You're a mere ant, how dare you ignore this great emperor? You're just asking for death. After saying that, he launched an attack directly towards Xiao Jiangxin and his party. The terrifying power of the great emperor burst out instantly. Seeing this, all the geniuses gave way. However, Xiao Jiangxin and others looked at him without changing their expressions. I saw a young man stepping out. Just a wave of the hand. He defeated Emperor Tian's killing move. Emperor Tian's expression changed drastically. He didn't expect that such a powerful genius would appear at this time. Due to his own injuries. Even if it means losing face. He also chose to turn around and leave. As for the appearance of these geniuses, he also remembered it deeply in his mind. After leaving the world of Tianxiao, he is slowly settling accounts with these people. However, how can Xiao Jiangxin and others be easily bullied? Stop, hit someone, and still want to leave unharmed? You are thinking too highly of yourself. At this time, a plain voice stopped him. Emperor Tian's gave a cold chill when he heard this. Then he turned around and looked at Xiao Jiangxin and his party. What, you still want to kill me? Even though he has been hit hard. But he also has the strength to kill a local genius. The young man smiled, his words full of ridicule. Emperor Tian's, right? He's just a defeated general. He was angered by Bidao Daijun. Thinking of taking it out on us? It's too wonderful to think about it. Since you dare to treat us as a punching bag. Why can't my group use you as a living target? Emperor Tian's. As soon as these words came out, everyone gasped. This guy is so brave. That is Emperor Tian's. Although he was seriously injured. But it's not just insulting you if you want to. He wants to crush you. It's as easy as crushing an ant. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 110. Is this person crazy? Even Emperor Tian dares to humiliate him. You also said that you have lived too long by letting him be a living target for you. Even if Emperor Tian is severely injured, his strength cannot be underestimated. Does he think that he can defeat Emperor Tian like this? As people's comments continued to spread, anyone with a sharp eye would recognize the man's identity at a glance. I know this person, he is the genius of the Xiao family. His name is Jamal Xiao, and he is rank 7th in the heavenly ranking. Those people behind him are also the geniuses of the Xiao family. What? Rank 7th on the heavenly Dao ranking? Do you really think of yourself as a capable person? How dare you insult Emperor Tian with this ranking? You are simply overestimating your abilities. An insider who had visited every challenge in the Xiao family came forward. You don't know this, right? The reason why Jamal Xiao has the courage is because of his strong family background. When everyone heard this, they all gathered together. What kind of statement is this? What kind of family background allows him to dare to humiliate even the emperor? Don't you know this? In addition to these geniuses, the Xiao family also has 3 big shots. The head of the family, Xiao Xian, severely damaged Emperor Long Ten with a clone in the king's list not long ago. His nephew Xiao Tianyun should not be underestimated. He has a brilliant record of defeating the dead immortals. The most important thing is that Xiao Wuxi, who used to rely on 2 clones. It destroyed 2 ancient martial arts places that had existed for tens of millions of years. He is even called the #1 martial god. Here, look at the young man at the head. That is Xiao Tianyun, who has the ability to kill the dead immortal. Everyone took advantage of the situation and looked over. They were all shocked by Xiao Tianyun's young appearance. At such an age, he has the ability to defeat the emperor. No wonder Jamal Xiao has such confidence. It seems that Jamal Xiao dares to ignore a reincarnated emperor just because Xiao Tianyun is here. It must be so. Otherwise, how could he, a genius rank 7th on the heavenly ranking, have the strength to fight against the reincarnated emperor? It's just that Xiao Tianyun has never made a move since that battle, and his strength is hard to say. So what, just defeating the Death Immortal in that battle is enough to make Emperor Tian's fearful, not to mention that he was seriously injured. Everyone nodded in agreement when they heard this. Even if Xiao Tianyun no longer has the ability to fight the Emperor, in the current state of Emperor Tian's, he will not be Xiao Tianyun's opponent. Emperor Tian's was immediately furious. Even though he was seriously injured at the moment. That's not something that just any local genius can humiliate him. How outrageous! Even a mere ant dares to speak arrogant words. Jamal Xiao looked at him indifferently. Wouldn't it be clear if we are talking arrogantly? Let's compete with each other? How about this? Seeing that you are seriously injured, I will give you a move. If you can defeat me, I will pretend that this incident did not happen today, but if you lose, I will not care about your life or death. After all, the Tiandao ranking has issued a notice, and the life and death of those competing for the Tianjiao ranking are the will of God. Shut up, my emperor. If I don't kill you today, I won't be able to express the hatred in my heart. Emperor Tian's was immediately shocked and angry. He was just injured. Not dead yet. These local geniuses came up to humiliate him one by one. I really think he is a soft persimmon and easy to bully. But how could Jamal Xiao be afraid of the threat of a reincarnated emperor? He is a local genius. Although not as powerful as Xiao Jiangxin, Xiao Tianyun, and Xiao Qingyun. But killing a reincarnated emperor is more than enough. Not to mention, their head of the family also told them. The reincarnated emperor is just a poor man abandoned by the times. So what if he is stronger? There was no detachment in that era. Is it okay to come here? Jamal Xiao sneered. Swinging Jalnir in his hand. Vast thunder and lightning burst out from the world of Tianjiao in an instant. Emperor Tian's could no longer bear such humiliation. Killing towards Jamal Xiao in an instant. I saw him punch in the air. Even the surrounding Taoist platform trembled. Above the sky, fists and hammers collided together. The powerful power actually made the world of Tianjiao tremble. Purple thunder and lightning spread across the sky. Even the barriers of Tianjiao world are clinging to the power of thunder and lightning. The two collided. Jamal Xiao's thunder and lightning power. With the ultimate thunder and lightning artistic conception of devouring and destroying. Devouring the power of Tian's emperor's fist. Even the reincarnated emperor on the 36th platform saw this scene. I have to admit Jamal Xiao's strength. Emperor Tian's fist power was broken. With the ultimate power of thunder and lightning that swallows up the world and destroys it. The Emperor Tian's was instantly enveloped. Emperor Tian's saw this scene. His expression suddenly changed. His pupils suddenly condensed, and he stretched out his hands to resist with fear. No. His scream. Instantly swallowed by the power of thunder and lightning. Wait until everything returns to calm. The body of Emperor Tian's has also disappeared in front of everyone. Even his name was removed from the heavenly Dao list. Everyone looked at the scene in front of them in horror. The 7th ranked genius on the heavenly way ranking. He actually has the ability to kill the emperor. Even the reincarnated emperor of the 36 paths was shocked. The name of Emperor Tian's disappeared from the Tiandao list. It turns out that the notice released by the Tiandao Bang is true. If you die, you will die. Even Emperor Tian's can kill him. The strength of this genius of the Xiao family must be terrifying. Should I say that the local genius is too strong, or that the Tian's emperor is too weak? First he was severely injured by Bidao Sword Lord, and then he was killed by Jamal Xiao. He didn't even have the ability to fight back. Everyone heard this. I was originally depressed because the reincarnated emperor had taken away most of the opportunities. I also felt a little released at this moment. So what if the reincarnated emperor? We don't even have the ability to fight back in front of our local genius. Seeing this scene, Jamal Xiao didn't stop much. Instead, he followed the footsteps of Xiao Tianyuan, Xiao Jiangxin, and others. Continue to the top of Tianjiao Peak. And the other geniuses of the Xiao family have never glanced at the reincarnated emperor from beginning to end. As if in their eyes, Emperor Tian's is just an ordinary cultivator. It's not just them. The same goes for the entire Xiao family. Because Xiao Xian once told them, no matter how powerful the reincarnated emperor is, they are just wretches abandoned by their time. And they are the true geniuses of this era. As Xiao Jiangxin and others continue to move forward, the genius in the 36th position below, a solemn look gradually appeared on his face. Jamal Xiao's blow just now made them terrified. In the Xiao family at this time, Xiao Xian looked at the picture on the Tiandao ranking indifferently. Oh, it's my Xiao family's turn. The geniuses of the Xiao family all smiled in understanding when they heard this. At this time Jamal Xiao rose into the sky, heading directly towards the top of Tianjiao Peak. What is he doing? Could it be that he is trying to hit the summit? It seems to be true. You didn't even glance at the 10 rankings behind him. Damn it, this guy doesn't think he's invincible after killing a seriously injured emperor. I think this is also possible, otherwise how could he rush forward so unscrupulously? Oh, you are so arrogant, how can you die without knowing it? However, no one noticed Jamal Xiao's movement speed. Compared with those reincarnated emperors, it is much faster. It is as if the gravity field containing the laws of heaven does not exist. Until it reaches the 19th position. Only then did Jamal Xiao stop. But looking at him, he looked more like he was resting here for a while. And so it is. Although Jamal Xiao realized a little bit of the power of the laws of heaven. But the further up you go, the greater the pressure of gravity. So I had to take a short break here. However, the master of the Taoist position was not happy. At first glance, I couldn't get used to Jamal Xiao's arrogance. Secondly, I also want to see what kind of strength this genius has. Therefore, he directly exploded his own power. Kill towards Jamal Xiao. Terrible pressure instantly surrounded Jamal Xiao. Everyone saw this and started talking a lot. Look, someone stopped me. This is the White Tiger Emperor. Not only does he have the essence and blood of the quasi-immortal emperor, it itself also has the blood of the atavistic white tiger. Even Emperor Tian's is afraid of it. Jamal Xiao did a good job of killing Emperor Tian's before, but he was seriously injured at the time. Now facing the White Tiger Emperor, I'm afraid I don't even know how I died. For a moment, everyone's eyes were focused on the 19th ranked Taoist rank out of the 36. Jamal Xiao just shook his head. He easily broke through the pressure of the White Tiger Emperor. Everyone was shocked by this scene. He actually broke through the Emperor's pressure with just a shake. Even the White Tiger Emperor's face turned ugly. Jamal Xiao sneered. Originally I was just here to take a rest, but since you want to challenge me, let me practice with you. After saying that, he waved his palm directly. I saw flickering purple thunder and lightning on the palm. In an instant, he rushed towards the White Tiger Emperor. Damn thing! The White Tiger Emperor instantly felt that his majesty was being crushed in front of everyone. He immediately became furious. Punch into the air. The terrifying power of the fist struck directly at Jamal Xiao. The two collided. The ultimate power of thunder and lightning instantly swallowed up the power of the White Tiger Emperor's fist. Then came the palm wind carrying purple electric current. It hit the White Tiger Emperor directly on the chest. The White Tiger Emperor's body was instantly knocked away. There wasn't even a chance to defend. He was seen vomiting blood and his body fell to the ground. The chest was even more charred. There was also a faint flash of electricity on it. Everyone's eyes widened in shock when they saw this. Obviously he couldn't believe that Jamal Xiao could defeat the White Tiger Emperor with one palm. I didn't expect that even the White Tiger Emperor was no match for him. It looks like he doesn't intend to stop at 19. With his strength, he can still continue to sprint. Then the position of number 19 will be vacant. There are so many geniuses behind, I guess they will line up one after another. Just as everyone thought. This position should be arranged sequentially from top to bottom. Jamal Xiao whistled. I saw the purple gold fire cloud eagle on Xiao Qingyun's shoulder flying up. Jamal Xiao smiled and showed his big white teeth. When everyone saw this, their mouths twitched. A bad thought emerged from their minds. Is this guy going to give the position of 19 to an eagle? Shouldn't be right? After all, it's just a mount. But this purple gold fire cloud eagle has the blood of the golden winged daepen in its body. So what, a mount wants to sit on a path that contains great opportunities. It wasn't just onlookers who were shocked. Even Zijin Fire Cloud Eagle himself didn't think of it. Jamal Xiao would actually help him win the 36th position. Still ranked 19th. After receiving instructions from Xiao Qingyun, the purple gold fire cloud eagle flew to Jamal Xiao's side. Jamal Xiao touched his head. Diao, this position is yours. The purple gold fire cloud eagle chirped to express its gratitude. Since being domesticated by Xiao Qingyun, except that they are not allowed to take human form, Xiao Qingyun had no restrictions on him. I thought this time it was just a formality. As a result, I got such a great opportunity. Why didn't such domestication come sooner? However, this scene caused dissatisfaction from other geniuses. A mere monster mount. Why are you taller than them? So when Jamal Xiao headed towards Tianjiao Peak, the next reincarnated emperor took action directly on the purple gold fire cloud eagle. Everyone was extremely surprised when they saw this scene. Emperor Silver couldn't help but take action. I think so, who wants to line up behind a demon mount? Now the Xiao family is about to lose a powerful mount. Emperor Bian suddenly made a move. The purple gold fire cloud sculpture is hard to guard against. He directly asks Xiao Qingyun for help. Master, help me. At this time, the extreme sword light suddenly cut through the sky, directly breaking through Emperor Silver's killing move. The person who made the move was Xiao Jiangxin. At this moment, he was looking at Emperor Silver indifferently. Have you ever asked me if you want to attack someone from my Xiao family? His voice was plain, but it contained overwhelming evil energy. Don't wait for the Silver Emperor to reply. Xiao Jiangxin swung his sword directly. A long sword with ultimate sword light. Point directly at the Silver Emperor. Even the geniuses of the 36th path saw this sword. They all put up their defenses one after another. After the long sword crossed, their defensive shield was shattered. This shows the power of this sword. Emperor Bian originally wanted to say something sarcastic. But after seeing Xiao Jiangxin's sword, his expression changed drastically. Even the heartbeat slowed down by half a beat. Then he quickly sacrificed the white tiger's true form. Use this to resist this terrifying sword move. However, this sword directly destroyed his true body. Humph, with this little strength, you dare to take action against members of my Xiao family. You are simply overestimating your capabilities. Immediately afterwards, Xiao Jiangxin swung his sword in the air. A killing sword with attribute sword intent. Point directly at the Silver Emperor. Under the lock of sword intent, Emperor Bian wanted to unlock the sword's intention. But he was restricted by the laws of heaven in the world of Tianxiao. The terrifying sword power fell from the sky. Only then did Emperor Bian realize the horror of Xiao Jiangxin. However, he didn't wait for his words of begging for mercy to come out. The sword power with the killing sword spirit has already killed him. That comes with it. It was the removal of the great Silver Emperor from the heavens list. Everyone looked at the scene in shock. I couldn't help but gasp. A reincarnated emperor. He was killed with a sword. He doesn't even have the ability to fight back.